Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom to the worldwide family. Peaceful Sabbath day. I should say, let me say that again. Peaceful Sabbath to everybody today.
That's right, that's right.
Hope you enjoy this feast day today, because every Sabbath is a feast day. It's where we come and get our daily bread or our weekly bread of the Most High, so to speak. So y'all know how we get down. We're going to turn toward Holy Jerusalem so we can bring forth the lesson of the gospel today.
All right, family. We're going to get this opening prayer, and it is with the Most High's permission, and is in the name of His only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior and our Redeemer,
Yes, sir.
Yahushua HaMashiach. But we know Him as Jesus the Christ, y'all. Long live the King.
Long live the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms, in the 42nd chapter, it reads, "As the hart panteth after the water brooks, so panteth my soul after thee, O Yah. My soul thirsteth for Yah, for the living Elohim. When shall I come and appear before Yah? My tears have been my meat day and night, while they continually say unto me, Where is thy God? When I remember these things, I pour out my soul in me.
Yes, sir.
For I had gone with the multitude. I went with them to the house of Yah,
Yes, sir.
with the voice of joy and praise, with a multitude that kept holy day. Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted in me? Hope thou in Yahweh,
Yes.
for I shall yet praise him for the help of his countenance. O my Elohim, my soul is cast down within me.
Yes, sir.
Therefore will I remember thee from the land of Jordan, and of the Hermonites from the hill Mizar. Deep calleth unto deep at the noise of thy water spouts. All thy waves and thy billows are gone over me. Yet the Most High will command his loving kindness in the daytime, and in the night his song shall be with me, and my prayer unto the Elohim of my life. I will say unto Yah my rock, why hast thou forgotten me?
Yes, sir.
Why go I mourning because of the oppression of the enemy?
That's right.
As with a sword in my bones, mine enemies reproach me, while they say daily unto me, Where is thy God?
Yes, sir.
Why art thou cast down, O my soul? And why art thou disquieted within me? Hope thou in Yah, for I shall yet praise him,
That's right.
who is the health of my countenance and my Elohim.
Hallelujah! Selah!
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all.
Well, they always get the voices up 10,000 on the Shabbat Shalom. Uncle Elisha Ben Israel.
Yes,
How you
sir.
doing,
Yes, sir.
All right, Shabbat Shalom, family. As we get about our Abba's business today, today's class, y'all, because we are coming into our first high holy day of the year. So the class was titled Feasting Within Me, because there's some areas we're going to have to cover during this lesson. And we're going to have to cover the misunderstanding of script stating that we can't do any feast days outside the land. And being that we are in the beginning of the month, we want to get this clear. I should say the beginning of the feast year. we want to get this clear, a good clear understanding of feast days in and outside of the land.
That's right.
That's lawful, y'all, but once again, we're going to find this out to be a simple priesthood issue. Like all the rest of them, they're priesthood issues. Because every feast day, a priest must be involved.
Mm-hmm.
Even under the order of Aaron, there was always a priest involved. So, y'all, we're going to get a little bit into this. Spoke with a little bro of mine. Little bro happened to be a little bit bigger than me, big country. So when little bro called me, he had some questions or concerns. I'm like, well, you know how we get down, bro. That's what we do. We bring it to the forefront and we let the chips fall where they may. But as we get through with this lesson, what we must find at the end of this lesson, for anything that's done going against the Most High's command is called what? Transgression. Mm-hmm. So it's not on us to prove that you can't do a feast day outside of the land. It's on them who's saying that and teaching that they need to find the punishment.
Exactly.
They need to find the woe. Woe to them that doeth the feast days in the land of their captivity. Woe unto them. That ain't our job.
Right.
Our job is to show you where it was permitted and there was no fault. So y'all, we'll go over that today. We'll get some good understanding. But I also want to just thank the family for their prayers, their all of their well wishes, their condolences to the house of Ishua, Sister Damaris. We did put her mother to rest yesterday. Really nice home going for Sister. I know it's going to be a little bit of, mourning for a few days, but it was the natural order. Just came a bit quick, but we just want to ask y'all to continue to pray for strength for that family.
Yes.
Sister Stacy out there, her father, I think he's doing a little bit better. But y'all, we want to continue our prayer at the house of Uriah. Thank you, sister, so much. Yeah. So we want to continue on praying for our family. Y'all, prayer is a mighty weapon. If it wasn't Satan wouldn't cause the traffic that he causes about it. Y'all know what I'm saying? So when you read even in the Old Testament, in the book of Daniel, 10th chapter, he was causing and blocking prayers from getting up. So y'all, it's not a hard thing, it's not a new thing, it's not a strange doctrine, but we want to just get people to understand. The Messiah said, until heaven and earth pass, all the laws are good.
That's right.
So then that means if we don't have a physical high priest that goes in the temple for us, then how do we keep these commandments? Because this goes all the way back to the garden. Sabbath days are feast days. And the seventh day of the week is a feast day. So Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Noah, they kept the Sabbath. They kept feast days. So it's nothing new, because if he kept all the commandments, surely the Sabbath was in there, wasn't it?
Yes. It was the first feast day.
Yes, sir. So what you got over there, too, buddy? I saw your hand come up.
Let me scroll up to it in 1 minute, Miss Family. All right, daughter of Zion, she asked. Put it on the chat. Shabbat Shalom, family. I have a question. Can the seventh day, Sabbath, be on any day? Because there is a doctrine going around stating that the Shabbat can fall on any day of the week according to the moon.
Well,
A feast day.
yeah. So what you got is, y'all, we got Leviticus 23, which all of our feast days, our major feast days, are counted off of the lunar solar calendar. The problem is, when it mentions the word Sabbath, is only places you'll see Leviticus of us doing or counting a Sabbath as a 7-day week is when the Sabbath, you have to treat the following day of a feast day as a Sabbath. That's all it's telling you. You can't do no servile work on it. But what you're doing is, it's saying, look, if a feast day falls on a Tuesday, I want you to take Wednesday as a Sabbath day. But that's once a year. That's not every other week after that.
Right.
That's only for that particular feast day, because you're going to be wore out. Feast days, when you eat good and having a good time, you go home, you want to sleep late. You don't want to have to hit the alarm clock. You want to stretch and get up when you do. Boy, we sure had a good time last night at that feast, didn't we?
And the food was great.
And the food was outstanding. And you treat that day of a Sabbath. You don't do no servile work. You only do what need be. You may have to put some things in order. Unload a truck or something, but you're doing it on your own pace. You don't have to clock in nowhere.
Right.
You can stop that and say, well, I'll do the rest of that later on. I'm going to go back and take me another nap.
Right. I get the rest in the morning.
I get to rest in the morning. So that's the only time you're going to see Sabbath concerning with lunar. If not, anybody that's teaching lunar Sabbath is going to have to explain what is the sun's job.
Right.
Because it's running 364.5 days no matter what the year is consisting of. The moon, the most you can get is 360, and that's if you run them 30 days a month. And you don't have that. The moon will drop back to 28 and 27 days. What do we do with those 11 days a year that's falling off the moon cycle? So y'all, once again, the Sabbath is controlled in Genesis. It tells us, Hebrews 4 tells us, seek that other rest. And that other rest was always the Sabbath that was in the garden. And that's no servile work, technically, taking care of any issue that need be. Because Adam lived in the Sabbath day.
Yes. And he tilled the garden.
But there was no servile work. He was born into retirement.
Right.
Y'all understand that? It wasn't until they got cast out that hard labor came. Then the word labor came in.
8 hours a day.
From the sweat of your what?
Brow.
Until you what? Until you die.
That's what it is.
So y'all, we'll touch some things because that's part of the feasting within me. But you can't change the Sabbath day every week. And there's no such thing. You throw everything off course. This is the beginning of months, the script say, for your feasts. So you know and you count the moon. And we do our feast by the moon. So that's what the count is. But when it say treat it as a Sabbath, that don't mean turn it into the Sabbath.
Right.
That's the same thing Christianity do, because Paul said, and it was on the first day of the week. That don't mean the Sabbath switched to Sunday.
Right.
But that's what they say it means. That's why we go on Sunday. No, y'all misunderstood. It called it the first day of the week, still in the scripture that they use it. And upon the first day of the week. It didn't say, and upon what used to be the first day of the week, but now it's the seventh. We ain't read that. How you like?
Nope.
Let's get into it, y'all. What you got over there, Johnny?
I'll make this quick.
Shalom, got our Johnny.
Thank you.
Sister Alka in town. Go ahead. Shalom, sis. Go ahead.
I've had a lot of people go off of me because I tell them they're supposed to keep the Sabbath day. They were like, how do you know that the Sabbath is what it is?
Right.
And I'm like, well, one thing for sure, you can just Google that and see who changed it from the Shabbat to Sunday.
Right.
But it's not, it still hasn't changed. The first day of the week is still Sunday.
Look, it never changed in here. Look, it's only the only thought process change is what they're doing is trying to change up here. If we pull up every calendar online right now, I don't care what calendar you pull up, Sunday gonna be the first day of the week of it. Just pull it up and see, that lets you know how Satan plays. Satan didn't change law. It said he think to change the law all the time. It ain't never changed in here. It ain't never changed on the calendar. Pull up a calendar right now and see what Sunday say. Don't it say the first day of the week? Mm-hmm. Now you have Gregorian calendars that have the moon count on them. You'll see those little moon circles, half circles, full circles. We never knew what that meant. But they were counting the moon based on the sun. And it said the greater light is which one? The sun. Mm-hmm. And the lesser light is the moon. So the moon is not going to trump the greater light because it needs the light from the sun. It don't have any light.
That's right.
Excuse me. It gets all of its light from the sun. So, y'all, we have to keep things in perspective. See, that's like lowering the Messiah down to a man and let the moon trump over this. I'm talking about Negroes that just teach it from that perspective. You lose sight on who's in charge of who.
Right.
The sun is always in charge. If the moon don't come out, what's going to happen? Is the temperature going to change?
Yes, sir.
If the sun don't come out, is the temperature going to change?
Drastically.
If the sun don't come out, what's going to grow? You ever seen harvesting at midnight? So, y'all, the sun is very important. It's light. Without the sun, we lose vitamin D.
Yep.
You lose nutrients. Look, you can drive by and say, we're going to move on. If it's a hill, the hill will be like this. The hill coming down like this, but the tree grows straight up. You know why? Because it still reaches for the sunlight to grow. It don't grow at the same angle the hill is. It reaches for the sunlight. All you have to do is sit a plant right by a window with sunlight and watch it bend and turn and say, I need that light. It don't do that for the moon.
That's why I say all his creation worships him.
Boy, look here, Elijah. So, y'all, we have to keep the light power perspective where it needs to be. So, y'all, let's get right at it. What you got?
Imam Ray Ayer, you got a quick question.
Oh, yeah.
Shalom, Imam Ray Ayer.
She said, when is the new year? Why some Hebrews saying it's the new year, Elder Daniel Solomon?
Well, it's the new year of our feast. That's all it means.
The beginning of feast.
But our civil new year technically starts on the Day of Atonement. That's technically what we would consider, because you start new with yourself. You get rid of all of that BS you're supposed to. Mm-hmm. And not only that, but you fast to get rid of everything from last year. Right. You can't do the Day of Atonement and still was doing what you was doing the day before the atonement.
Right.
That ain't atonement.
That's like that Catholic Lent thing that were after 40 days, they put a cross, and then after 40 days, they go back to what they quit.
Same old sin.
What, you may be going right back to the same old sin. What you got back there, Steve?
That's what she referring to. People saying it already, because like some camps, especially like those alphabet ones, this weekend is their fast.
Right, we had some had it 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Really? I
Look.
seen it 2 weeks ago.
Shmanu Yah sends us the new moon sight that he get from Jerusalem every month. So, and he heard about that too. He like, where they get barley from, and they doing this in mid-February.
Right.
Where they saying that at?
Right.
So, but that's because you keep losing time off the moon calendar, so you stay 11 days behind. 3 days a month, you're behind. You're behind the full 364 days. That's what Enoch said in chapter 72 through 80 of the book of Enoch. He say, all those days add up to 364.5 when both work together. You can't have one without the other. And that's where moon worship come in, the moon god Allah. They turn the moon into a god. So we got to have courage. Most High never said turn the sun into a god. Never. So, y'all, let's get at it. We got any more questions before we get at it? The first thing, y'all, we always have to do is anything concerning a feast day, when it's questions like this or feasting period, let's go to Colossians 2:16.
What's the title of
The title of is Feasting Within Me. So what we want to do is bring both the spiritual aspect and the priesthood order. Y'all, this is a priesthood. We're not under Aaron. Because if we was, we'd be talking about Passover right now. We should be already getting the lambs inspected. Then we got to have a priest come and slaughter it, inspected that there ain't no blemishes in that lamb.
A lot of us would have been stoned. This
Already, bro. Look here. Look here, bro. Where we going to get them from? But Christ is our Passover lamb. Once you understand that, then you know the priesthood shifts. Because there's no sacrifice. There's nothing you could do, even under the order of Aaron, without going and get a priest and say, we want to do this. You have the rules of God. Tell us how we're supposed to do it. Well, Moses said that's going to switch and the priesthood to one individual, since the beginning of the foundation of the universe was set in motion to take over that priesthood, and just him. You want to say David, but David said it ain't me, it's him in Psalm 110. It ain't me, the Lord said to my Lord. Who over David? If you still talking about Saul been to the witch doctor. It can't be him.
Right.
He falling off continuously. David ain't saying that. He prophesied, and Paul did the same thing in Hebrews 7 chapter. The Lord said to my Lord, sit thou on my right hand till I make thy enemy thy footstool, after the order of Melchizedek. This is a priesthood issue. Anybody talking this, just start off just like this. Just ask the question, what priesthood you speaking of in time period? And watch the whole conversation change. You can't get into no all-out broad talking about the discussion where we ain't supposed to do it in the land or what we ain't supposed to do. Let's get down first and see if we're on the same priesthood order, because no matter what it do, if it's feast, a priest have to be involved, don't he?
Yes, sir.
That's what we have to agree on. So which priesthood order are we dealing with? Are we still under Aaron? Because Sula market lambs are not, they're blemished.
Right.
Ain't no need we fooling ourselves. Sam's, Costco.
Star packing.
Look here. Star packing, all of them.
Regardless of where.
But if we choose off the list, he say, I got you. I'll cleanse that for you.
Right.
Just choose off the list. You can't choose pork. It ain't on the list and pray over it. No, you can't do that. So y'all, we're going to get right at it. Colossians 2:16. And then we're going to go right to 1 Corinthians 3. We're going to hit the law on feasting or understanding who the priest is that we have to go to understand our feasting, because this type of deal like this is where you're saying you can't feast a different thing. All it does is we're going to slowly get out of doing the commandments.
They try to.
And you'll be like Hebrew Christianity when they say, can't nobody keep the law. Says who? Which one?
Empty your pockets.
Right. So y'all, that's why we want to understand it don't matter what we say, so that you're not just teaching commentary or you're talking about it. We have to read to the people God's commandments, because look, we're in his image. He put his laws in us.
That's right.
They're already in there. They've been there.
Yep.
But this is his manual. He say, if you have a problem, if this check engine light come on, turn to Leviticus this, and you can turn that light off in your body, that check engine light. But the law tells us how to do this. If this is tampered with, then you ain't gonna never be able to turn that light off.
All your lights going.
You're gonna have to get a waiver.
Waiver.
Yeah. See,
Ain't
because
no waivers in
look,
this game.
because they don't know.
These ain't back.
They'll be telling you, I heard in that other book, maybe a Toyota starter will work on that Ford. Really?
Let's see.
Not without what? Modification.
Just about to say.
See, this can't be modified.
Right.
And you got people out here that's doing that verse teaching. They'll go to Jeremiah 8:8 and run it from every version on planet Earth. You still on the same verse. Let's go back to verse 1 and read that down in every verse and see if the subject matter changes. And then we'll get to comprehension of what verse 8, Jeremiah 8:8 talking about pause and pen of the scribe. That don't make no sense. Then what verse can you say? You saying right here. Then what you're saying is, when I read from these verses that I'm going to read from, the scribe has not got to the ones that I'm going to read from. It's poison free what I am about to read. Right. It's either you close the book up. He said you can't be lukewarm. It can't be tampered with and you still in it. That means it's lukewarm. It's cold and it's hot. Some part you say, well, I don't understand it like that. But y'all quit being taken in by that verse teaching. If you start at verse 1, it tells you, send Jeremiah, go to these people. I'm going to give you my law to get to them. Write it down. It's going to seem that you're writing in vain, because they ain't going to pay no attention to it. Right. You know how your mama say, boy, I just keep on telling you, but you just won't do what? Right. So what comes after do right? woe. Woe is to them. And then when you get into the rest of the 8th chapter and get into the 9th chapter, you see he said, rewrite my word down. Now, is that tampered with too? The rewrite? Y'all, some of this stuff is just way past us still being in this kindergarten and letting men convince you that what's called holy is tampered with. And they ain't scratch holy. Do that first. Then we know who you are. But don't come in here with sneak techniques and verse teaching. Let's move on, y'all. I won't spend no whole bunch of time on that madness and foolishness. First, Colossians 2:16.
All right, family. We're going to be reading in the book of Colossians, chapter 2. I'm going to start the reading in verse 16. Everybody there?
No,
All right, we'll tell it for you, bro.
it's, go ahead. I'm not.
The book of Colossians, chapter 2, and verse 16.
Uh-huh.
Let no man therefore judge you in meat.
In what?
In meat.
Uh-huh.
Or in drink.
Right.
Or in respect of an holy day.
Or in respect of a holy day. Go ahead.
Or of the new moon.
Uh-huh.
Or of the Shabbat day.
See, why is that the only one that has an S on the end of it?
Right.
The Sabbath days, because there are multiple Sabbath days. There's the weekly, and then there's the one you do if the feast require you take the next day as a Sabbath. That don't mean it turns into the Sabbath. It just means rest after that.
Right.
That's all it means.
How you gonna go, boy? All of what goes on at the Passover, the feasting, and then if you have to get up the next morning and hit that time clock, it's gonna be dangerous at work.
Yes.
Negro disease will kick in hard.
Itis.
Itis will be on you, and they're like, man, you seem so whooped down. Then how you gonna explain I'm here suffering because I kept a feast day?
Right.
See, then it shows discredit to that feast day. So, but if you have to go, be like he say when you fast and wipe your face, put some Afro sheen in your hair, put some Vaseline on your lips. Don't go up in there like you done had a rough time and you've been doing the Passover.
Right.
Imagine you got toothpicks in your ass.
Boy, look here. Go ahead. What else to say?
Verse 17.
Yeah.
Which are a shadow of things to come.
Which is a what?
A shadow of things to come.
Uh-huh.
But the body is of a Mashiach.
So we can hold there, but see, the body is still of a Mashiach, y'all. That's what was Isaiah 53 prophesied. He was bruised for our iniquities. He was cut down for our transgressions. So y'all, if we don't understand and we don't believe that starting out the gate, then they're going to have you tripped up thinking you supposed to go get left. What happens when you in bond or in jail? What you going to do? You think you can force the warden to give you a lamb?
Right.
You don't want slop today. You want lamb chops and you want unleavened bread, do you?
I'll tell you out a picture of it.
Boy, look here. Yeah, that's what they do.
He gonna give
But
you regular
look,
stuff and tell you it's what you want.
when you know Christ is the ultimate unblemished lamb and you feasting within you, you can still keep the feast. Because it's not about food and drinks
That's right.
That's right.
for the kingdom.
That's right.
And
Boy.
say let no man judge you.
Let no man judge you. So what does judgment mean? Judgment don't mean you're going to hell. That's condemnation. We're not talking about that. You should be able to defend why you're doing what you're doing.
That's right.
If you don't know why you're doing the Passover and somebody asks you, shame on you. You're letting somebody judge. Now you know you're doing this on the wrong day. Actually, it was yesterday. And you like, what? I'm dressed like this and you telling me I'm 24 hours late. Wait a minute. I spent good money here. What the hell?
I'm dressed up.
You like, no, bro, our count was different based on this is how we do. See, another problem with going off the lunar and the Sabbath deal, Pentecost is 7 complete Sabbaths after whenever Passover is.
Yeah.
Plus 1 day. It's always going to end up on a Sunday. But if you go off the moon calendar, you're only going to get 4 Sabbaths in a month. You're going to end up 11 days short, 36 days, or if you add another one, you're going to 54. You're not going to be on point with the Feast of Pentecost. The count is going to be off. Because you have to, like this Sabbath, this Passover, we'll be doing it on Tuesday, April the 4th. That Sabbath that's coming up, which will be the 6th or the 7th, that's not one. You don't start that one. That's not complete because you're halfway in the week. You're already in Tuesday. So you have to wait till the following week.
The following.
That Sabbath, and then you say, okay, one complete one. And then go 7 again, 2 complete ones, which going to end up, and then it say plus 1 day. That makes 50, which going to end up always on a Sunday and May the 28th. If you doing it any day of the week, any day of this week. If you're saying, well, y'all doing it too late, you should do it on Monday. If you say some people going to do it on that Wednesday. Regardless, your count to the Sabbath still got to be 7 complete Sabbaths. Right. Not a half of one you're already in and get to this one that's coming up and say 1. No, you can't say 1. You missing 3 days. You missing Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, ain't you?
Ain't like them days, no.
Yeah, right. Yeah, see, Monday really mean for the moon god. Right. And see, Tuesday, man, get out of here with that food.
I mean, Thursday.
Thursday.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah, take off.
But you don't see all of them as the Lord's Day because these came later.
Right.
Every day is unto the Lord.
He named them day 1,
day 2, and day 3. You sitting in here championing Thor for Thursday?
Come on, man.
No.
Stop it.
You're caught into verse teaching and outside books. Ain't nothing wrong with looking at from Babylon to Timbuktu, or what's that one that tells about all the different names, that fossilized customs. Ain't nothing wrong, but that have to agree with the Bible. The Bible don't agree with fossilized customs.
Right.
It must find its way in here. Right. Let's get it, y'all. Where we at? First Corinthians 3.
Yeah.
We already did still.
Yeah.
All right, family, we're going to be reading in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, and we'll start the reading in verse 1. Hey, Mr. Shalom.
Shalom, Mr.
Shalom. Y'all good? Need some help?
Y'all ain't got nothing down there, do you?
Hell, Mr. got it all. It's on his back and all that.
Yeah, right.
First Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 1.
Yes, sir. What it say?
Let's get some understanding, family.
1 Corinthians, y'all, chapter 3.
And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal.
Right.
Even as unto babes in Hamashiach.
So he's saying, this is Paul saying, I'll have to nurse you up real quick in Hamashiach.
Right.
In the order of Melchizedek. Let me nurse y'all up. Y'all, we off the flesh. You think you can go get an unblemished lamb right now and then put it in this defiled flesh and you're going to be made whole? You're going to take clean and put inside of you dirty, and you thinking that then you put more power on a beast than yourself. Mm-hmm. That's what the Messiah asked him. What has more life, the beast when he had the Pharisee? You get a beast out the hole on the Sabbath day. You mean to tell me I can't heal a man? What's greater, the beast or the man? So you're saying beasts are more or equal to human beings?
Christ said you are more valuable than any sparrow.
That's right. Let's get some more.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
I have fed you with milk and not with meat. For hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able.
So he's telling them, when I first came to y'all strictly on Aaron, so I brought y'all Aaron to expand your knowledge, so to speak, because y'all ain't ready for it. You don't give a baby a piece of steak, do you?
No.
Just getting them 2 teeth at the bottom and maybe 1 at the top? No. And you hear chew on that steak and you better not spit it out.
That's all it's going to be is spit.
Spit out, ain't it, boy?
Until you got to give him the Heimlich.
Right. Give him the Heimlich. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
For ye are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envy.
What is there among you?
Envy and strife and division.
Right.
Are ye not carnal and walk as men? For while one saith, I am of Paul.
Right.
And another, I am of Apollo. are ye not carnal?
So he said, when you go after me and worship, you carnal as hell.
Right.
I got to clear y'all of that. One of y'all said, I'm of Paul. I ain't did nothing. Hell, I didn't do the blinding. I got blinded on the road to Damascus. So one is after this guy. I'm third in command, the most holy in this. One is after that guy.
Right.
One is after another guy calling himself Superman. Another guy calling himself Superman. But we seen the third in heaven when that heathen went out there to ask some hard questions. He took off all that gear. Had his hair in a Billy D. Williams ponytail.
Yeah.
He was sitting there with his hands like this on the desk with a suede jacket on with engine fringes going up and down the street, Tonto jacket on. And no, we're not in any violence. And wait a minute. I know you ain't the one third in command talking weekly like this.
Right.
What them fights shooting guns at the ring?
Boy, you were
Running
just
through the alley,
at the
knocking over
trash cans. And now you sitting here like you on the first 48 getting questioned. Boy, look here, y'all. It's time out for that tomfoolery. He says, so that's milk talk, y'all. We ain't here for no milk talk. Anytime you pump up another individual who can't do nothing, that can't solve his own problem, it's a problem.
Right.
Let's get some more. What else to say, bro?
Verse 6.
Yeah.
I have planted, Apollos water, but Yah gave the increase.
Y'all see how this works? Right. See, so he's saying, I come to you with the meat doctrine. And then when Apollos run to you, he going to up the ante just a little bit. And then the Father and the Messiah going to give the increase of that knowledge, because no matter what we saying, if you don't believe that, you're not going to increase. You're going to decrease. Rapidly.
As we see.
Let's get some more. What else say? We're going to read this whole thing out and go get clearer.
Verse 7.
Yeah.
So then neither is he that planteth anything.
Y'all see that? The one that planteth ain't about nothing.
Right.
We just a vessel is going through.
That's all.
Go ahead.
Neither he that watereth, but Yahweh that giveth the increase.
Who giveth?
Yahweh giveth the increase.
Now
he that planteth and he that watereth are one.
That's like Priscilla and Aquila. Go ahead.
And every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor.
According to his own labor.
That's right.
You can't be one to do anybody else's labor. And let's understand the administration of Messiah. See, this is how you can tell when somebody in the priesthood. When you hear the words, or in them compound living, when you hear the word high priest anybody, you know to stay away from that. Is it Pharisee or Sadducee? For we have one high priest.
That's right.
And if you got a high priest, then he has to be going into the holies of holies and sacrificing for our sins.
And he is first.
And he is first. So it tips you off about what to look for. But these charlatans. You know, and then they don't have the administration correct, like 1 Corinthians 12:29 tell you the administration. When you hear captains of 50s, captains of this, you're stuck in not even Aaron. You're stuck in Saul's woe to accepting a man king. When you read 1 Samuel 8th chapter, start at verse 1. See, they'll start you at verse 11, and he shall make you captains of 50s. See, when they present it from that perspective with that verse teaching, then you thinking when he makes you a captain of 50, that's a good thing, but you ain't read from verse 1 that where Samuel was told, Samuel, don't worry about them wanting a king. They ain't at you, they at me. Right. They want an earthly king they can see, what they want. Well, they hollering for Saul. He the tallest in Israel. His head was above the tallest man's shoulder. Oh, so you think this about a tall man, huh?
See, we always put our glory in the flesh of me.
Don't we?
But Christ chose the most bases of them all.
Didn't he? Short brother. Young brother. David, look here, boy. Boy, short, look here. Nat Turner would have posted up David. Go, David. Yeah, put it right on the end. On the end if you will. So, yeah, what we're talking about, because David was number 14, 15 when he handled Goliath. But he did it with power and might of the Spirit, and we're talking about belief. But his brother, his tall brother Saul, was actually high. They had to send him to Saul and ask, what will you give the man that stopped Goliath from screaming on Yahweh like this? He said, he get my armor and my daughter. David didn't care about none of that. He said, I don't need none of it because I ain't proved none of it. All I need is this slingshot. And Saul, people behind the desk, you show? Now you can wear it. You can get mine. David, like you 6'8" and I'm 5'4". On a good day. I couldn't wear it no way. So y'all, that's all that we want to get it understood, y'all, that these ones calling them great ones and you trusting in them can't do anything for themselves. You still on meat. I mean on milk, I'm sorry. You're still on milk. You're looking for somebody to hold your hand that needs their hand held. And then they'll talk about the administration like you'll hear these knuckles out here. They ain't putting in no work. You call standing on the street hollering and cussing out people work. Notice what they call work. And not only that, that work is against the rules. The rules say go out everywhere. 2. Knock on the door. At the most, what, Elisha? 2. At the most, 3. If it ain't 3 of y'all on the corner, how y'all got gangs out there?
What he is doing is doing working hours.
Boy, look here. You still got a gang. And look here, a gang of people doing working hours? What are you building? And they call that work. Oh, he don't know how to teach. He don't know how to teach. Look, there's different administration. Each one of us is different up here. But it all work that same work. He don't ask for mine, I don't ask for his. You would like it, but it say if you want to covet the best gift, get busy. But remember, too much is given. Much is what? So don't be asking about nothing you ain't going to handle and want to get back. No, I want to give it back.
Right.
I done tried reading them Psalms like that, and I just can't get it right at the end when everybody say, hallelujah, Selah. Hallelujah, say, and then we be like, wait a minute.
Time is just off.
Timing off. We be like, wait a minute. It's a sequence. It leads you up to it. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you hear that trumpet, dun, 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 you know what's coming next. What everybody holler at the same time? Charge! If you and then you holler, hallelujah, say it. You look around, you like, damn, you ain't gonna let nobody else in on it? But
private interpretation.
Look here, when we first said shalom when we come in, it sounded like it was only a few people in here, which it was. But those same few people, when we said hallelujah, Selah, rocked it all the way down to the parking lot. You can hear the echo the same way when we go around Jericho. Just wait till we get around 7 times and then blow the trumpet. It's going to collapse. But it had to be according to the rules, y'all. Yep. Can't make up your own rules, especially the rules of some Negro.
Right. And then we all on one accord.
And then we on one accord. That's the main thing. That's the problem. See, I send you out by 2. 2 of y'all do with 10,000. Right. That's what he said. He didn't say I send you out by 10,000 against 2.
And that's what they
y'all got a whole gang going up against Geno Jennings. What you need that gang for? Yeah, you going out there. What are you trying to attack? You need all of them for him, and you the leader.
Right.
Get out of here with that.
And you supposed to be bringing forth the word that's more powerful than any on earth.
On earth, and you got a gang out
there.
there.
A whole mob.
But didn't they make them stand on the sidewalk across the street or something?
Yeah, they told them go over there and say we don't want to hear that now.
Right.
And he tried to do a little mocking y'all, but that's all it is. You just signing up for a parade, y'all. Y'all gonna march around the blocks. Look, what we're talking about is we want to see you 2 by 2, or at the most 3, going to every door, because that's what it says. If you go to a city and you knock on the door and that house does not receive you, he says, shake the dust from your feet. What houses are you cussing out on people drive by unless they drive by in a mobile home? You gonna die and you gonna be servants. Shake the dust, that mobile home just went by. Boy, that's crazy talk, ain't it, Elisha? Y'all, some of this stuff, you just choosing to believe a lie. What you got, sis? No, we good, sis. We good. Let's get it, y'all. Let's move on. Here it goes.
We're back in the
Y'all
book
see
of-
how crazy it is? We only laughing because it's as crazy as that, ain't it, like? Shh.
We're back in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, and we're in verse 9.
Yeah.
For we are laborers together with Yah.
What are we?
Laborers together with Yah.
Y'all see that key word, together.
Right.
Ain't no separation in this, y'all. It's all or nothing. We all we got, y'all.
No big
We the
eyes,
remnant.
No little you.
We the remnant, y'all. When y'all truly understand that, like you people don't understand. Like we teachers up here, readers. Like you get Jacob. Jacob is a preacher, like Jeremiah and like John the Baptist. So you can't put him in a teacher status like he has a sit down, something like that. He's a voice crying in the wilderness. I don't care who you listen to or who you heard. They say I was flipping through the station, and I heard his voice. I say he rough around the edges, but I couldn't quit listening. John the Baptist did the same thing to the Pharisees. What you vipers come out here for? To see a reed shaking in the wind? Unless you repent, get ready to die. John quoted scriptures like that, but it was from a preaching perspective to draw you in. They don't understand because they'll teach everybody must do the same thing. Get you a sign and stand out on the corner. That's right! You can be a that's right man, or you can just be cussing everybody that walk by. Hey heathen, you know you're going to be slave? That's right!
Hey man, they must practice because now they say certain things, they reply in unison after certain things that are said.
Yeah.
So they must rehearse. They must have.
Yeah, they do, boy. Look, you got to. They practice.
All right, when we
look,
say this, like the Catholic.
Look.
You know, once they say a certain script or
Yeah,
whatever,
get up and stand
then they
there.
the audience reply
that
with
time.
a unified voice on something. But they do the same thing.
Because it's Hebrew Christianity,
Yeah,
man.
it's-
It's just like the whale man for the pastor.
Well,
And you know, the Lord is good.
Wow.
Wow. See, but he practicing at home before he get there in the mirror. Well, no, that ain't it. Well, yeah, I'm getting something with that now. Well, yeah. As soon as whatever the preacher say, and the Lord is good. Well, they doing the same thing. That ain't no work. Jeremiah was a preacher. Solomon was called the preacher. They quote scripture, but they preach them to you. Then you go to the synagogue and get the rest of it, the teaching. But the voice in the wilderness. I don't care if it was on Mark Cason's show. I don't care where it was at. Man, I heard I had to pull over, man, because I didn't want to miss nothing. I couldn't drive in traffic and keep it when in my view come on. And they think that ain't work. That's major work when you're a voice in the wilderness. You know how many people came to the baptism of John? The Messiah came to it, didn't it?
He said
So
he
that
had
voice
disciples.
in the wind.
They say John had disciples.
Yeah, absolutely didn't. It said John's disciples are not doing. He like, is they with us or they against us? Well, were they with us? He said, look, I don't want to hear none of that foolishness. They must be with us. Because they're sifting through the 2/3, y'all. Mm-hmm. It's plenty. I want y'all to understand when he says this constantly, whoa, I'm only looking for the remnant. 2/3 are being sifted through. They have a big pool. That's why it seems like so many people are following. 2/3 is more than 1/3, ain't it?
That's right.
That's twice 1/3, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's how many they have to sift through. So they got a lot of things to go around, practice go around. But the remnant ain't on milk no more. The remnant chewing meat just fine. Let's get some more.
verse 9 from the top.
Yeah,
For we are laborers together with Yah.
yeah.
Ye are Yah's husbandry.
Uh-huh.
Ye are Yah's building. According to the grace of Yah which is given unto me, as a wise master builder,
Uh-huh.
I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon.
What do you do?
Another buildeth thereon.
Y'all see how this program ain't no big eyes or little you. You know,
Right.
you get one piece and that's it.
Yeah.
Daniel got one piece and he was told, you going to sleep. John the Revelator pick up the rest of this. Go to sleep. He'll pick right up, and John the Revelator picks up from where Daniel left off. Let's get some more.
But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon.
Right?
That's right.
For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahweh Shah Mashiach.
You can't build on nothing else. How you gonna build on some Negro that had a fetish for chicken wings, talking about he third in heaven? Something got knocked out because we read in 1 John 5, there's 3 to bear record.
That's
the
right.
Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Which one you replacing? I seen Christ feed 1,000, 5,000. Here you talking about 50 chicken wings, they brought them to you. You got bones stacked up like an archaeology find, and you hollering, keep them coming. And you third in command?
He didn't feed him, he ate him.
Boy, look here. Yeah, that's what we talking about, right? Boy, it's just tomfoolery. You choose to believe a lie.
Right.
Oh, man.
You got sneak listeners talking about he too rough around the edge, he talk crazy. But you in the sneak listening section for what?
Hey, Stanley, what do you say next?
Change.
Can't turn away, you know what I mean?
What you say? They say too much. I can't stand it. What he say next?
Right.
That is crazy.
Let's get some more, y'all.
Verse 12.
Yeah.
Now if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest. For the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is.
And y'all, so the fire gonna try it. If you on your game, you shouldn't get burnt out. Burnout means you're a parable of the sword. Yeah, it lasts for a season, but it didn't take root. After this come out, now you playing somebody else's game.
Right.
You started off on fire. We thought you was rooted, but when the sun came up, you got burnt up.
Stony ground.
They say you got burnt up and withered away. Now you just dust or
Dust in the wind.
look or bird nest material.
Right.
That's what bird nests get, that burnt up grass that ain't growing no more, cut off to the side, then turn brown.
It's better you had not been born.
Uh-oh.
And then you're talking about all type of hallucinogenics that grow under, you say, boy, cow patties?
Yes, that's where the good stuff is.
Boy, look.
That's what they say.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
now you got sugar honey iced tea for brain.
And bruh.
Yeah, it ain't sweet. Let's get some more, y'all.
Verse 14.
Yeah.
If any man's work abide which he hath built thereupon, he shall receive a reward.
What shall he do?
Receive a reward. If any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss. But he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire.
See, so if it suffer loss, you got to, a living dog is better than a dead lion.
Right.
So you got a chance to take off so you don't get thrown in the fire.
Right.
But we keep reading, it's going to clear itself up even more. Go ahead.
Verse 16.
Yeah.
Know ye not that ye are the temple of Yah?
See, this is what he's trying to get you to. You're the temple of Yah. If your eye offends you, what you got to do? See, if what's going to cause you to get burned up, you got to get rid of that.
That's right.
In verse 9, he calls you God's building.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And that the spirit of Yah dwelleth in you. If any man defile the temple of Yah, him shall Yahweh destroy.
What he going to do?
He will destroy. For the temple of Yah is holy, which temple ye are.
And no matter what we look up holy in, it's going to say set apart. And then when you get down to because, that's in the Webster Dictionary. I don't care what you do. The devil ain't crazy. In Webster, he going to have a fleshly description, and he's going to have a spiritual. When you look up holy in the Webster Dictionary, it's going to say worthy or set apart, I should say. The second definition gonna say worthy to be worshipped.
Right.
So we know we can't be that holy. But the first holy say, I'm sorry, it says the first holy say completely devoted to one's deity.
Right.
See, we can be that holy, set apart for that, because that's what Christ was. That's what he came to tell. I'm completely devoted to the Father.
That's right.
Y'all got to be holy like me.
That's right.
But none good but my Father.
That's it.
That's the only one that's holy
That's right.
until he changes the rules.
Come on.
And the rules are, if I complete Isaiah 53, then he's going to turn that over to me. But it was already promised to me from the foundation of the world. I just had to get through it.
Thank you, Creed.
And it was for y'all behalf. And now y'all going to worship a chicken wing eater. You going to get David Koresh and talk about he's the Messiah and he's got on glasses. And talking about he's going to open the 7 seals. And you sitting up here like this.
That's why it's on.
Look, how you need the DOC license, not to cut you off.
No.
But you gonna open something, you gotta do this before you open.
Right. You got to open up your glasses.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, there it is. And you sitting in there, and he got a prescription on his eyes, and he finna open up the 7 seals. You want to believe a lie. You choosing that lie. You know damn well this ain't the Messiah with an ailment. Right. And he's got an ailment.
No, it's over here.
Look, Mr. Magoo glasses. Go ahead, bro. What we at? Like, you saying something?
Oh, man, go ahead.
Go ahead, bro.
First,
Yeah, you all right?
What's out there, man?
Well, look here.
Better drink you some water or something.
I'm gonna get some in a minute. All right. Verse 18.
Yeah.
Let no man deceive himself.
Let no man do what?
Deceive himself.
Uh-huh.
If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world,
Uh-huh.
let him become a fool, that he may be wise.
Yeah.
For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yah.
See, the wisdom of this world will tell you don't trust truth.
Right.
No, that's the wisdom of this world. Right. The wisdom of this world say a child should speak his own mind.
Why? Because the earth is given into the hand
Of the wicked.
Right.
This say train up a child the way he should go. Right. They follow your instructions, not you theirs.
Right.
Say that.
This world say a child can choose his own sexuality.
Boy, look here.
Come
And
on
I'm
now.
supposed to listen.
Boy.
See, y'all, this is why we getting on the spirit, because we're not. See, well, he was born that way. Did you see him come out like that?
Right.
When the doctor slapped him on his wrist, did he say, Ran? Ran?
You better smack
Look
him
here.
again.
Yeah, you better hit him again. Brrr. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Yes, sir.
That's my boy.
Yeah, that's my boy. But y'all, this is how dirty the devil play. We just went over the Testament of Solomon where that demon like to get in and he'll try to strangle a baby.
Yeah.
He does things like this, y'all. So what we're talking about is a supernatural deal that goes on, that all of the times you say that dream was so real, I want you to think about if it had you robbing a bank and you say it was so real, or something happened. I'm talking about so real that your consciousness is changing when you woke. You know, that somebody may ask, man, what's wrong? Man, this dream was just so real. If an entity come to you as a sodomite and you let your guards down in your sleep, your rear end gonna be sore in the morning.
Uh-oh.
A little hitch in your giddy.
Boy, look here.
Do not
You'll be saying it's so real. But you just can't tell people the other part about the real. When you reach back there, it was tender.
Why you walking like that?
Y'all, if you have a wet dream, If you experience Deuteronomy 23:10, a man that chances in the night, if you could do that in your sleep, if that demon come to you like that, he's trying to get it in your psyche up here in your subconscious. Maybe you are a woman and not a man with the way you got handled last night.
Right.
Remember that video?
In your dream.
Jake showed on walk on the
Yeah, boy, look here. Jake showed some walk on the dark side, showed demons attacking, flipping an individual over. You can't make that a Hollywood stunt.
Right.
What was happening?
This was wickedness in his full
When you
effect.
wake up and see a scar on your arm and you don't know how it get there, or you just saw it right here and you like, or you being chased in your dream, now you just have to lay there, just woe out. Legs won't move. You tired, been running in your dream the whole night. You are spiritually wore out. And you'll have to recover. This flesh can't handle supernatural charging like that. Y'all, so this is what we want you to understand. The devil attack a child, and most people say 3 or 5 years old. If he attacking a child in its sleep like that, doing things that he ought not, that's why you have to drive it from that child and say it will drive that spirit away. Soon as that first lick comes, that demon do like this. Oh shit! Get out of here, shit! It's discipline around here. Let me get out of here. But if you say you's feeling something, yes, I was feeling I'm a woman. At 12,
Boy.
You go buying dresses.
Daddy, I want one
Come
of
on.
those.
Hit him in the face with a football.
boy.
Marsha Brady knows.
Well, look, y'all.
Marsha Brady knows.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely,
You
bro.
gonna toughen up today.
But see, and what we're talking about is, y'all, that we're dealing with a spiritual world, and you're dealing with idols are nothing. But devils and demons are real. And they inhabit, they possess, and they'll get it, and you're locked down, and you'll have a personal conversation with it. Shit, and boy, just while we're saying the hell, like Johnny here, he done been in a battle with a demon that had hold of a child at a facility that he was doing. The children had to stay there. Demons speaking out of him. The boy said, he won't let me go. He just won't let me go. Y'all, we're dealing with a supernatural world because our defense is against supernatural. Our weapons are not what? What you gonna do with a 9mm against a demon that's growling inside of a boy, but kill him and then the demon flee?
Right. But see, that's strange too, because yesterday me and the Red were out and we were getting something to eat, and a guy came in the spot and he was talking to himself.
Yeah.
And he was just in there while we were there, but we wasn't tripping off of him because I didn't want him talking to me. You
Right.
know what I mean? But he was talking to himself and moving around, and he was on his cell phone, so he wasn't all the way crazy. But something was, and then coming to class today, we saw a guy walking up Martin Luther King, and he talking to himself. And I told her, I said, girl, these spirits out there getting on people, and it's just wide open, man.
What they are
They
opening
can
up.
see your light too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Look, they
My
are,
wife saw it a couple of weeks ago. We was at Family Dollar, and there was a dude tripping, talking to himself, and we went in. We come back out. I walk by him. He was like, "How you doing, sir?"
see, demons fear and tremble, y'all. They know.
Moved away from me and then went back to talking to himself.
Right. Look, you ain't here to torment before the time. You ain't one of the disciples. You ain't got no spiritual sledgehammer in that bag, do you, to straighten me out?
Keep it moving.
Because, y'all, what they're doing is talking to the supernatural. Crazy people will only say two things. God is talking to me, or the devil. You don't hear them say nothing else is talking to them. Nothing else is talking to them. I ain't never heard of crazy people say, and this person came in, it's either God or the devil. Right and wrong.
Remember Pookie?
Yeah. So y'all,
One that used to come to our class faithfully, but he'd take a Bible every class.
yeah.
He probably got a closet full of
Yeah.
Bibles. But Pookie,
Yeah, boy, had us thin around here, didn't he?
yeah, boy, we used
Like,
to have
where
a
the
stack
Bibles
of
going?
Bibles, boy. Every time Pookie came to class, he took one. But Pookie be walking down Grand, talking to himself and everything. Pookie used to be about his game, but he got somebody slipped him a Mickey.
Yeah. See, that opens up that pineal gland.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about, y'all. You have enough that comes in you, equipped with you to open that up. You got DMT. You got all of the stuff that they're trying to manufacture because you came from the earth. You're already equipped with DMT and different things. what they do is try to flood you with endorphins, you know, and flood your dopamines that where it overpowers, like MSG.
That's right.
It's not the Lay's potato chips. It's any potato chip, but when we put Lay's, when we put this seasoning on it, you're chasing the seasoning.
Right.
We can put that seasoning on anything. And look, and don't get a charlatan that want to make money off of you. Look, they'll come up with a new one. Hey, we got too much of turmeric around here. What we gonna do with it? Damn, ain't nobody buying no more of it. I know what we can do. We can mix some black pepper in it and a touch of garlic, and we'll call it powerful turmeric.
Uh-oh.
Live forever turmeric. And they'll get it, and the next thing you know, you'll see a bag out there, powerful turmeric.
Shalom, family.
Shalom, y'all. The spiritual turmeric will have you live forever. And all they did was sprinkle black pepper in there with it, too.
Exactly.
There we go.
Just an act of faith.
Just an act of faith. We got exactly what we need, and when we get it starts to get deficient, then we can add it back by natural herbs and different things. It's just that if it gets past trouble and you have to go to the doctor, then they have a processed synthetic version, the heavyweight version that they can cut down in doses that punches it right in the mouth and get it out. And then that's why they tell you take it for 7 days and then get off of it. And then go back to your natural. But if you get sick and you get hurt, natural can't heal damage already. It's like trying to put a Band-Aid over a gaping cut this big. There got to be some stitches put in there first. Then the Band-Aid will work. But ain't no Band-Aid gonna stop an open wound, is it? You talking about bleeding out. Go ahead. You done bled the whole box out. Go ahead.
It's just as bad with medication because my wife would tell you when I had a back injury, I messed around. I was in so much pain and took this medication these people gave me. Dude.
Yeah.
What I do that for? Bruh.
Because you was in pain?
Man, look,
Go
I
ahead.
took that medication.
Boy, it ain't a carrot you could have chewed on to deliver you. Go ahead.
I come to take a walk, right?
Right.
I saw 2 big dogs come out of the woods, and I ran up in a tree.
Uh-huh.
I literally ran up in a tree, and I'm freaking out, called my wife, come get me these 2 dogs and leave me alive. I'm
Yeah.
freaking out. And only to realize after the high was gone that the tree was this big. And it was 2 pools. And they was looking at me, climb up in this on this little
Right.
shrub,
Right.
fall and climb
Right.
up and get after a while.
But they weren't trying to get you, they was gonna make
Yeah,
you.
they get it. Boy, they wanted some of them sweet treats you had.
She went up in her car and saw me jump out that shrub. She said, what the hell you doing? Get in the car. They're trying to kill me. They're trying to kill me.
Whatever that was.
Medication only
They need out.
Yeah. Boy, look here. Boy, you say that Shih Tzu was looking like a pit bull off the chain, huh?
When I saw it was small, and I was gone, dude. I was completely gone, man. I took that whole bottle and I threw it away. I
Yeah.
never again.
See, and look, you know, pain will do that to you. But the script talk about pain. It says there's no pain greater than a foot out of joint and a broken tooth.
Yes.
If both of them happen, I'm talking about that initial pain when they both happen. Some air get up in a broken tooth, boy, you'll be doing like this. Cause you know ain't no doctor can do nothing for you. You can put rub all on that, but a broken tooth. Oh, Lord have mercy. Please, please.
All that wisdom too.
And look, you have to put that weight on the ankle. You ever trying to make it to a location? Look, a gout foot will have you on both knees. Now put a broken ankle on that and try to just walk to this point.
I had turf toe.
Boy,
Turf toe, man.
look, you see what he done to Deion Sanders' turf toe? He got 2 toes cut off, and they thought they were gonna have to cut his whole foot off.
Bro, that turf toe, man, I'm telling you, boy.
Look, what he talking about, AstroTurf is like artificial grass. So it grabs a hold to the cleat. So when it grab your feet, your body may be going this way, but your feet still stuck in that AstroTurf.
Right.
So it bends toes back like this or flip them back this way. And he was known, he could run backwards faster than most people could run forward.
Yeah.
And that's how he would get turf toe stop and then But Deion Sanders, he all he can do is a 3-piece now on his feet. These, which one is the big one?
The
two
big toe and the
them-
one
them-
next to it?
Them, yeah, so he just got them 3 like that.
Yep.
Yeah. And cut all this in out like that. Made millions, y'all, but it's a price to pay
Right.
for the body going through that type of work, y'all. If we're going to have our body go through that, it better be ready to be tried in the fire of Messiah. Because I don't care how good you look on the outside, if it can't handle fire, you wasting your time. If that new look can't handle fire, you are wasting your time.
Right.
Test it out. They say fire got weight.
Yeah,
Look, just put your hand like this and
2
let
pounds
us
of fire.
put a little fire. Now you're like, shit, yeah.
2 pounds of fire.
That's about 2 pounds, yeah. Yeah, that would be enough to finish that chicken and just put it on the grill.
Yeah, okay.
Let's finish this up, y'all. Let's get caught up.
Won't have
2
no
pounds
hand.
are turned into 10,000.
Yeah, well,
All right, family, we're in the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 3 and verse 19.
yes, sir.
For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with Yah.
Uh-huh.
For it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
See, so when you hear somebody talking of another doctrine and trying to just use the Father's name only, but teaching witchcraft on another level, you know, they talking fast, like a used car salesman. Real fast, and you couldn't understand them if they were saying that, so that makes you think he's a wise one or a doctor. And I'm telling you, the amino acids and the sour this and the dough, when you put it back on that, it's just like a used car salesman. And I'm telling you, I know it's got 300,000 miles on it, but it rolls one. It was a one owner. The radio works on Thursday. I'm telling you, this is what you're looking for. Underhill. Okay.
Remember
Okay,
like
that-
Simon Brothers?
That sound good. Yeah, I'll take the call. And you on the date. Well, it ain't Thursday, so we can't hear the radio.
How can you even justify putting that back out your mouth?
They're going to be talking quick. See, it's not what goes into a man that defiles him. It's what comes out. Law breaking, what it says, defiles a man. If you tell somebody, don't you keep God's commandment, you're a defiled individual. You're defiled if you tell somebody that. Don't you believe what God's saying in that Bible tampered with. You're defiled.
Same as Satan.
You tampered with it.
Let's get some more. Where we at?
Verse 20.
Yeah.
And again, the Most High knoweth the thoughts of the wise,
Uh-huh.
that they are vain.
He know they vain. They worthless. They're wise men. How you gonna hustle backwards? How you saying don't carbon we driving and we causing problems with the ozone layer and you keep sending rockets up there? And that's got more fuel and power. Y'all see the thrust of them rockets coming up there? Hell, that's a whole city in a year, ain't it? Yeah. One rocket up there is equivalent to that many cars in a rush hour traffic highway. And you got us believing that this is causing this problem. No, the problem causing is what you're doing, putting your satellites up so you can watch Earth and be like God. Let's get some more.
Verse 21.
Yeah.
Therefore, let no man glory in me.
Let no man do what?
Glory in me.
Uh-huh.
For all things are yours, whether Paul or Apollos
Uh-huh.
or Cephas,
Right.
or the word,
Or the who?
or the word,
Uh-huh.
or life, or death, or things present, or things to come. All are yours.
You ain't got to lick nobody else's boots. All this belong to you. That's what he said. But you got to be on Messiah. Your body has to be on Messiah. But you don't give nothing up to nobody else. What I look like champion Paul, like he greater than me. Paul didn't even do it. He say, I'm apostle. He say, but I didn't walk with the Messiah like them 12. But I don't take a back seat to him.
Right.
Yeah, I know their names go on the foundation. And my name ain't going to be there because they the original. They roll with him through his regeneration. I didn't. He had to regenerate me. But I'm not taking no back seat. I'm an apostle too. Ain't no little apostle, is it? When they say apostle, that's what it means. And that's a graduated disciple. Mm-hmm. He's had a supernatural event. Paul had his on the road to Damascus. It ain't no less than Peter had his. Or the disciples, when they say we cast out demons, they scared of us. What's the difference? Go ahead,
And
sis.
the thing about it, the disciples were with Christ, and they still didn't really acknowledge wholeheartedly who he was until after he had to rise from the dead, show himself and leave, and did not our hearts burn?
Why you think they did that, sister?
Huh?
Why you think they did that?
They was too puffed up with pride. First of all, they weren't already turned wholeheartedly because they were wanting to know who was going to be the greatest in the kingdom.
After doing all the miracles, what is that called?
Hypocrisy, sound like to me.
No, see, that's what we said. So what they were, he told them they were in the flesh. They were not in the spirit fully.
Right.
They were only using spiritual gifts.
Right.
But their heart hadn't turned spiritual.
Right.
It's like giving a child a laptop and you ain't did the parental advisory on their phone. He can get into anything.
Right.
So, and that's what was happening is the Messiah gave him all that power.
But isn't that considered like kind of like similar to hypocrisy? They were
Well, more pride
Yeah.
than hypocrisy because they didn't make themselves a hypocrite. Hypocrisy is just a hypocrite. Say I love the Lord. Now Peter did a little hypocrisy, but that was still the difference in flesh versus spiritual. I got my sword with me. I will kill. Yeah, he's on the mental. I'll protect the Messiah, but it's with a corner weapon. And when he cut that Cephas, the high priest, ear off,
Right.
and he stood back, and everybody, oh, Christ just picked it up off the ground and put it back on. He said, "Can you hear me, player?" Yeah, I hear you. He said, "Peter, this ain't about that war. You can't defend me like that. This supernatural. I don't need your help like that. Put it right back on." Go ahead,
The
sir.
point I was trying to get to, Paul didn't even walk with Christ, but when Christ got his undivided attention, he won more souls to Christ than the ones he killed when the disciples had to have him taken up and standing up looking at him, and the angels had to tell him, "What you standing down here looking at? Get on, get busy doing your job." When Paul was even doing it humbly.
Well, he had to. See, so that's the difference. What I'm talking about is the disciples didn't have to go through what he did. They didn't kill no Israelites.
Right.
So it's a whole different process of what you're speaking of. But I'm saying, so what he had to do, what he had to win over, he had to win over that damage he called. Damage control he was in.
Right.
The disciples were not in damage control.
And
So
his choices still had consequences.
yeah, no doubt about it. But what we're talking about is he did a thing of what it say. If you have fought with somebody, go back and make it right. So that's what got him over another level because he had to go to family members he had killed.
Right.
He may have killed their son. And they go tell him, "Look, I know y'all think I'm a dirty dog, but I did that under a warped mindset. I didn't believe in the Messiah. I was a Sadducee. I was a Pharisee. I was the chief of them, and I just lost my mind, and I'm being punished for it if y'all don't believe." But look, he took a serious whooping. Shipwrecked, beat up, stomped. He'll tell you what happened to me. Thrice I was in pearls. 3 times I got beat up at the supermarket. 4 times I got jacked round the corner. See, so that lets us know not to even look at his life like that. All that came from you killing Stephen, who believed in the Messiah. See, the disciples didn't put nobody to death because they didn't believe. So Paul had to walk a different walk, but I understand exactly what you're saying. So we have to make sure we explain his drama so it's not commentary. You understand what I'm saying, sis? Because that was a punishment. Anytime the Most High punish you and blind you, it's something you're doing against his law, and he's trying to get your attention.
Right.
If he don't get your attention, he throw you in the fire.
Going on the wrong road.
He's going on the wrong road. That's right. Narrow is the way. Wide is the road to destruction. Let's finish this up, y'all. We got to get caught up. Go ahead.
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 23.
Yeah.
And ye are Hamashiach,
Uh-huh.
and Hamashiach is Yahweh.
Now, while we in this same Corinthians, let's just go to 6:19, just that one verse, y'all. We're going to keep it moving. And what we're going over is the feasting laws. But why we started with Messiah is because he's the high priest now. So we're telling you, no matter what you do, no matter what sinning you do, you cannot go to another human being. It says, admit your faults to one another.
Right.
But your sins, you go in your closet. That's between you and the Most High.
That's right.
If you saying, man, that's my bad, bro. You know, I shouldn't have brought that car back, man, and that back tire was that low, and you got to get up and go to work tomorrow.
Right.
Shit, I should have stopped and put some air in the tire. You let me use my bad, bro, my fault, you know.
Right.
Is it sin? No, because you didn't do it to the point that where you let all the air out of all 4 tires so he'd be late and he only got 2 points left at work. So now he got to stop, get air. Ain't no need going to work. You got to be there at 8 o'clock. It's 8:15 and you still putting air in the tire. Ain't no need going to work, is it, Lice?
Fall in.
You just Let's get that Corinthians 6 and what we say 19,
Yes, sir.
and then we're gonna go to Matthew 18, Deuteronomy 30, and y'all, what we're setting up is the law about feasting and what we do, because we're gonna go over scripts that says you can't keep feast days outside the land, and then we're gonna go over the ones that say you do. See, the naysayers who say this never explain the ones that even appear to look like you can do them outside the land. You know what I'm saying? Like, they won't go over it. When somebody won't go over it, they don't want you to see the other side of the coin.
Right.
You know, you ain't supposed to be doing this.
Right.
You ain't supposed to be doing that. What that said in the law? If I ain't supposed to be doing it, there's a woe. Woe unto you who do that. You're facing destruction.
Stop judging me.
Yeah, oh, you'll hear that too. But see, that's people don't understand what judging is. Judging, when they say it like that, then they're talking about condemnation, throwing in the lake of fire. But you can judge a matter. Ain't the 12 tribes going to be sitting on the throne doing what? Judging the nations because of the law. That's the only thing you can judge a matter. Well, no, I wouldn't do that like that, man, because Deuteronomy 24 say, man, they could bring a curse upon your house. You know, I wouldn't do that. You judge. I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you, just like if you run that stop sign with that police sitting over there, you're going to get a ticket. Don't judge me. And look, that nigga done burned bread on me. I ain't burned no bread. I tried to give you some bread. You leaving it in the oven too long, not me.
Right.
So y'all, without the law, y'all, we through, and our priests tell us how he commands us. Like Moses was on Mount Sinai getting the law, the same commandments that Adam got, Christ was giving them on the Mount of Olives. When you read the 5th chapter, he's on the mountaintop, getting the instructions like Moses. You have heard of old, it is said, you can't do this. Well, I'm here. I say, don't worry about that. I'm saying you can do it, and it ain't breaking the law. You want to know how? Because I'm going to tell you right here. If you say I'm not supposed to do that on the Sabbath, then what about the priests? They profane the Sabbath weekly, and they are blameless. I want you to understand his words. Profane and are blameless. How you get two in the same sentence? You know why? Because they were the intercessors for us. You think we stop sinning on the Sabbath? You think if we can do that, we can stop it the other 6 days, could we? Now you shall all stop sinning Friday sundown to Saturday sundown to give the priests a break. They can't work. They can't be sacrificing for you. That means they're working. So what do we do about our sins on the Sabbath day? Or ain't nobody sinning on the Sabbath? I guess that's it, Lice. Ain't nobody sinning on the Sabbath. What you think, Ariel? Hey, man. Nurse, what you think back there?
Sitting on the Sabbath.
So that's what he would bring to them. And he's telling you, greater than the Sabbath is here. The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. And then he tell them, y'all go figure out what that means.
But he even told them that even your mere thoughts are sinning on the Sabbath.
Boy, look here.
You thought the matter.
If you thought the matter, if you think or be with somebody you ain't supposed to be on the Sabbath, you just sitting like here, no, I'm resting. What you think about? What you resting in there with? Yo. You ain't gonna be able to throw that on the table of judgment and say, see, I didn't do nothing. I didn't move. I sat there in one place till the sun went down. Like that gonna get it. Well, he gonna say, wait a minute. I'm gonna show you what you were doing off the couch.
Right. All the positions.
Yes, sir. On that couch. And we're gonna put some blue lights in there so we can see all of the impurities that blue light, the what is it called? What's that light? That black light. Yeah. Shows up impurities up here. We're gonna put the black light up here.
Lunar.
Let's get some more, y'all.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 19. What? Know ye not that
Bag it up, Zeb, if you will. Verse 16.
16.
Okay, 15. 15 good, Zeb.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
We can go back to 1.
No, can't do that. Run out of time.
You gonna run out of time anyway.
Say 14.
13.
13, y'all, we got to call it.
They talk about fornicators in there.
Yeah.
I'm looking
I tell you,
at
see, hey, look, y'all, we go back. Look, y'all read. Look, y'all, we got to go 12. Y'all, go 12 and go on down. Come on, 12, y'all. I tell you what. Go to verse 1. Go to verse 1, y'all. See, come on. Let's go to verse 1. See, they'll be talking about nervous. See, Pastor Long Way, he couldn't get the verse. Go ahead.
Well, maybe if you don't say nothing until we get to
Yeah, I see that. Yes, sir. Maybe I'm trying to do that, Zay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Let's see how far we get.
Yeah.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 1. Dare any of you...
Hold it. No, I'm just messing with you. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro.
trying to break the ice. Dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust, and not before the saints.
See, when you start going outside this Bible and you start bringing in books of the unjust to correct this, you off your rock.
Yeah.
You gonna go get me some book of some white man over in a monk tunnel somewhere, and it's gonna trump this.
Right.
You gonna bring outside in here. That's like somebody come in your house and they just changed the rules. And we're not watching any more TV in here except on Wednesday. And they paying nary a bill. And y'all will be out of the master bedroom with the bathroom, and you can sleep in that smaller room over there. Our knees to stretch out.
So they come in.
And I saw a bill I got at the mailbox that say you owe the house note and some more things. That I left them over there for you to pay.
Changing everything.
Boy, look here. And ain't paying nothing. Would you allow something like that to come in?
Man, for target practice.
Boy, look here. Go ahead, bro.
Target practice.
He'd have caused me to sin. He'd have probably caused me to sin.
Go ahead, bro.
Threw him out.
And then going to law with another. Before how, if you got a naysayer out here and then they see y'all going to law. Well, no, see, no, you don't know what you talking about. See, that's supposed to be like, no, because see, when you read Jeremiah, y'all, we can't keep going to law with each other like that. When we going to get to the point that we don't understand that law? Is that what you think is a feast day is supposed to be?
Right, yeah.
You arguing and then you come in here, the first thing you talking about somebody you done cut to pieces and they ain't with you.
Right.
You didn't build them back up?
Right.
Where they at? Man, I slayed this preacher and her auntie. Man, I tore them to the ground. I cut their heads up. You telling me that on the feast day? For one, because we ain't seen you since the last feast day.
Right.
So now you're trying to up your game as a slaughterer with carnal weapons. You didn't build them back up. You just cutting like that. You just slicing and leaving them in the gutter. Ain't nobody with you. You didn't. Nobody.
Pick them back up.
Manslaughter.
Dog, you know how I get down? I put some to the wood. I'm talking about in a coffin,
I'm
dog.
so saying this to myself.
This is Saul, ain't
He Paul before the road to Damascus.
you? Saul.
Saul, absolutely. Let's get some more. And see, y'all, also an apostle would always get their name changed. His name was Saul, was changed to what?
Paul.
The disciples' name was changed. I call you Peter, but I ain't gonna no longer call you that. You call this name. Now, Abraham, I ain't gonna call you Abram no more, but Abraham. No more Sarah, but Sarah. No more Jacob, but who? Israel. These are apostle statuses. When you have an intervention, he say, that's what I'm going to call you in the kingdom. That's a difference. See, we don't know what the name he got for us. We just hope it ain't go to the left with the goats. Don't want that name. Because I don't care what he call you on that. If your name is go over there with the goats, I don't care who you are and how many chiefs you have behind your name.
You ain't got no name, then.
You ain't got no name, right?
You know, nameless.
There shall be wailing and gnashing
Oh,
of teeth.
boy, that's your name, ain't it? Let's get some more.
It's no longer written in the book of life.
Sure ain't, is it?
So you have no name.
You can't be found.
You nameless. John Doe.
Kindler.
Let's get some more. Right. Go ahead, bro. Let's get caught up, y'all. Go ahead.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world?
What the saints gonna do?
Judge the world.
Uh-huh.
And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matter?
See, so y'all, we can judge a matter, but judging means bring the law into place. And it tells you how to do. Start everything at the beginning. Don't start nothing in the middle. See, she always, before she always, did she always, when y'all was exchanging vows, was she always then? No, see, well, let's start back then, and then we get to she always. But we have to go back to the beginning to see, and then you're judging the matter fairly because you're not taking one side. We starting at the beginning. When did y'all two, or when did this happen that we got this issue? Tell me the beginning. No, see, player ain't got time for all that. See, I just want to get right to it where he transgressed against me, dog.
We're about the part where you transgress.
Right.
Well, see, we ain't on that, dog. See, you trying to change the narrative.
Now I see.
Yeah, I'm trying to come to you as a brother, and you looking for something else. See, that's when you know it's personal.
Yeah.
Because they don't want to go back to the beginning. When truth is what it is, you can start yesterday if you want to. You don't have to go back to the beginning of this day. I'm telling you, you can start yesterday. Truth is an absolute.
That's right.
They say truth is perception, what you make it. No, it's not perception. See, perception can make you think I can run and jump in that river with them alligators. It's only my perception that I won't be eaten.
That's deception.
Yeah, what is that, boy? That's deception. Absolutely, bro. Let's move on. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 3.
Yeah.
Know ye not that we shall judge angels?
Uh-huh. You judge who?
Angels.
Uh-huh.
How much more things that pertain to this life?
Uh-huh.
If then ye have judgments of things pertaining to this life, set them to judge who are least esteemed in the church.
That's what we have to do, y'all. Least esteemed. If you got a higher, don't go get him, go get the least esteemed.
Right.
Get a wise young teenager that's up in here. Come here, young man, what you think about this? We're going to give you both sides of it. Like when the two in the book of Susanna, when the two, was they high priests or what was they? Lawyers. They the Susanna, they plotting, pulling a train on her.
But the freaky men.
They went and, the freaky men. Yeah, they went and got the young man, Daniel, who was a young man. Just like Elihu in the book of Job.
Yeah.
Sometimes the youth have to straighten you out, but they straighten you out with the laws of the God. You can't go get a youth and tell you something totally different.
Right.
Then you got the wrong youth up in there. But every youth has an advisor. Ain't no young man just been put on the throne and say he has the wisdom of God. There's always an advisor there. No, you shouldn't do that. This is what I expect you to do. And they were called prophets. They kept kings on point.
I see the truth today because I know it's when you teach children the truth or the word as they come up, when you slip, they'll remind you.
Absolutely. A child will let you know, but daddy, you said don't do that. Now, that's what I said, but you don't chastise me. I'm not chastising you. You just said if I run another red light, call my mama because you drunk.
So I called my mom.
Yeah. That's the only way, y'all. When children, it's like the Messiah told him, he said, which one of us should be greater? Come over here, young child. Sit right here. This is it right here. This is pure innocence. This is innocence. You got to have the innocence of a child. What I mean, right and wrong are the only things on the table. If they argue and fight on the playground, you separate them. What's the deal? He hit me and told me I couldn't ride. Let him ride. Get on it and ride around. Now both of y'all get on and ride around. And then they playing. But you can't do grown folks like that. You can't grown folks didn't pick me up. Gonna go over there and pick up Leroy and Skillet now and left me here. I'm the one put gas in the car the last time. Mm-hmm. Well, hold on, bro. We'll send you. I don't want no damn Uber. I want to sit on the passenger side where I always be sitting. And so you arguing about somebody else's car like this.
Right.
I thought we was grown folks. That sound like children.
Boy, look here. That's what he say. You can
Children
have
in
anger
mind.
and right and but be like children in anger and malice,
That's
because
right.
they'll play together
Right.
once they're separated.
Right.
They come back together.
Right.
But grown people will hold a grudge.
Sure is.
No, when I remember in the cafeteria back in high school, 1975. You like, man, that's been, no, man, he did that. See, when somebody hurts you in your soul, you ain't got to forgive them. You can, wait a minute, so now you just making up stuff. That's called a grudge.
He took your
Boy,
public
look here,
lunch.
look
and
here,
you
boy,
mad
look
at
here.
him?
Still, man.
Still?
You went to
that
throw
lunch?
something away and your apple gone, and ain't nobody know where your apple went. You still mad?
What if he pulled it out and give
Boy,
it to
look here, it's a grudge. You still will be biting on it mad. No good,
you?
black
Hey, man,
mother.
here the apple is, man.
All right.
Yeah, ain't even got the seeds in it.
Right, no more. It smell like your pocket.
Oh, no.
Go ahead, bro. Let's keep moving.
Verse 5.
Yeah.
I speak to your shame.
What he speaking to?
To your shame.
Uh-huh.
Is it so that there is not, excuse me, is it so that there is not a wise man among you?
Uh-huh.
No, not one shall be able to judge between his brethren.
So what he say, like, is it anybody, every time, look, every time if you get together, invite somebody over to the fights, if you over at the park just cooking something on the grill, if y'all at each other's head like this every time, let's do this, and we both know the scripture, what are we doing? Why are we bumping heads? We got a new brother coming over there too, and that's all we doing.
He ain't coming no more.
You ain't paying no more, you're paying no more attention, and all you're doing is hollering things that can't be found in the scripture. Your own thought processes. And you're doing this right here. We over here to have a good time. So you mean to tell me we didn't check each other and say, now look, we ain't gonna go over that thing again that caused arguments last time. We got some new people with us. But you just gonna go on over there and do it again in front of the new person. That means, sir, you want them to see who the best is. Or who can argue the best. Competition is high in caliber. No, they say, no, you let your toughest man, he should be the one washing everybody's feet. Going to get water. That man that's calling himself chief should be the one going to get water and passing it out. Here you go, bro.
Should be the
Here you go,
chief
bro.
servant.
Should be the chief servant. That's what the script say. Let's get some more, y'all. Let's finish this up.
Verse 6. But brother goeth to law with brother, and that before the unbelievers.
And that before the unbelievers. Y'all can't get it right, and y'all trying to tell somebody else who trying to get it right.
Right.
Go ahead.
Now therefore there is utterly a fault among you,
Uh-huh.
because you go to law one with another.
Uh-huh.
Why do ye, nor rather do ye,
Do ye not?
why do ye not rather take wrong?
Uh-huh.
Why do ye not rather suffer yourselves to be defrauded?
Uh-huh.
Nay, ye do wrong and defraud, and that your brother.
See, they say, why you just can't take, look, to stop the argument. We see something, we look around, we're like, man, we can't do this. Look, my bad, bro, my bad. Don't worry about it no more. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of that. Can't do that here. No, go see. People need to know. People need to know what?
Right.
That we can't control ourselves in front of a stranger? You take the fault. Bruh, I got it. It's on me. Look, if you take the fault and it ain't on you, it ain't gonna happen no more because it didn't happen that time. You just say, just charge it to me this time. There ain't gonna be no next time because, see, the next time will be him again.
Right.
If he ain't understanding. But y'all, we can't just keep labeling faults for getting other. Then we're gonna have that extortion game that these camps are running into, that they wait till you get a fault on you and then they store it in the fault bank. That's all they do is go at one another about their worst transgression and then you back off. Yeah, okay. Well, I ain't gonna tell you was, yeah. I ain't gonna tell you was in what you was doing in that daycare with them children. Okay, you got me on this one over here. I ain't gonna tell you. And then you whisper their crimes to the other boy. You know he was in that daycare and he was stealing all of the sippy cups and sippy it on some other things. You whisper it instead of judging the matter.
Right.
If you don't stay away from them sippy cup, your ass going to the lake of fire. I'm telling you what he say about children. Let me get these scripts again. Read some more, bro.
Verse 9.
Yeah.
Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of your house?
Uh-huh.
Be not deceived.
See, it's finna run the list. Y'all, we have to explain to everybody how everything we finna name causes you not to get into the kingdom. And there's a law for it. It tells you the behavior so you don't guess. Well, that's fornication, what you doing. What you read in the Bible, that's fornication. You charging somebody with a felony. And you guessing at this? Let's read some more. What it say?
Be not deceived.
Yeah.
Neither fornicators.
Neither who?
Fornicators.
Uh-huh.
Nor idolaters.
Worshippers of stones and stocks and planets and grass and whatever. Go ahead.
Nor,
That's not Yahweh.
Everything that's not Yahweh. Go ahead.
nor adulterers.
Uh-huh.
Nor effeminate.
Nor what?
Effeminate.
None of that. Go ahead.
Nor you gonna get the channel shut down.
Right.
Nor abusers of themselves with mankind. Oh man, hold on. I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Made you lose your place, huh?
Say, Zeb, you're trying to get it shut down.
But look, that's what it's saying. Go ahead.
Nor thieves.
Nor who?
Nor thieves.
Uh-huh.
Nor covetous. Nor drunkards.
Uh-huh.
Nor revilers.
Uh-huh.
Nor extortioners.
Right.
Shall inherit the kingdom of your house.
See, if we ask anybody right now, we go through one of them, what is a covetous person? What is a reviler? See, if we don't explain it, all we doing is just reading to the people. You still don't know what each one is. A reviler is one that takes curses and then it makes them a sentence. Like, curse be the man that lieth with his father's wife. And then when you become a reveler, you just start putting all the curses together. You black mother, because that's what a man is if he sleep with his father's wife.
You make it a
He's a
wrong
mother
sentence.
for unlawful carnal knowledge.
Wow.
He's having unlawful carnal knowledge with his mother. See, and this is what we talk about that verse teaching. See, when people practice that polygamy game, and then the script, Nathan came and told David, he said, and I gave you your master's wives, and I would have given you more and more. They use that as a plus for polygamy when that's a minus according to the law. You can't have your mother-in-law. I don't care who the king is. Solomon didn't have Bathsheba, did he?
No.
He took David's throne, did he? Was Bathsheba was married to David, wasn't she?
Yes.
So was Abigail, and you now belong to your son Solomon. He shall have the mastery over. He shall swivel hips with his mother-in-law as well as his mother.
That's it.
See, it's still breaking law so you can promote your game over here. That's because you verse teaching. You're looking at that. I gave you your master wife, and ain't even look. Saul was his master, and he married Saul's daughter, Michal. How then the Lord gonna say you can have a mama too? I would have gave you her mama when he was dead or when he was alive. When you gonna give me his mama? Ain't that against the rules, Lord?
Yeah, that's lust doctrine.
Just because you see that word, I would have gave you your master wife, don't understand when you're talking about Abigail, that when she said, I will be a handmaid servant of the Lord, Nabal is still alive. What she's telling him is, you finna take over the household of Israel. You're in control of every man, woman, and child in this kingdom. And what I mean by control, you are the king over all these. You make the final rulings. You're the head of the household. Now, Saul is dead. You're the king, David. She said, I will be your handmaid. And look, and they teach handmaids are sex slaves. So is she telling David right here, I will be your handmaid, and Nabal's still alive? What would that be called?
Adultery.
But she's telling them, when you take the kingdom, don't worry about me and my household. If you need us to do anything for the kingdom, I'll be your handmaid. I'll handle that business. That's all it is. It's just a young woman being given assignment duties for the kingdom. I'm a handmaid, responsibilities for the kingdom. But that don't mean you're getting a host of sex slaves. Ain't nowhere in the Bible it says you can have sex and don't have a marriage ceremony. How you just gonna have women on the side you can just handle at will? Where you going, husband, for some wheel handling? I'll be back. Don't have to worry about it. I don't have to have no protection over there. I just go over there any time of night. It's just a handmaid. Only thing I'll be taking is some sunflower seeds and where's that blunt we were hitting on?
And then it ain't even a full
It's just
blunt.
a yeah. It's
Even a full blunt. It's already smoked.
it's just a handmaid.
And you don't know who lives
Boy,
in it
look
on.
here.
Right.
But then
Yes, ma'am.
I've had young people tell me, and this is what I want you to clarify, because I told them this was in the scriptures, where it says abuse of yourselves, of themselves. They
Well,
said it.
just abusing yourself. You know, if you know it's been told, man, don't go around there. They say all them women around there got AIDS. And then you at the clinic, and you like, man, what they tell you was she just didn't look like she had nothing. Because you can't see on the inside. So how does a woman look like she don't have nothing? I mean, so what she had to be, like that one comedian, come make love to me. Make love to me. So that make you seem like,
Whatever this is, this for the start.
boy, look here. Let's get some more. So that's the only way she can look like she ain't got nothing I didn't know? Well, you know if she out on this corner, it's a possibility.
Right. But abusers are also, in every aspect, any kind of addiction.
Yeah.
That's out of being addicted to righteousness.
Yes, sir.
It's an abuser of yourself.
Of mankind, yes it is. Altering yourself that you can't alter your birth certificate. Everybody done did this in the mirror, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to look like that in the sophomore year. Well, you can't do like this and stretch that hard. It's still the date of the birth certificate.
Right. Yep.
Them kidneys still the same day. Your rear end is still the same day. All your intestines. When you breathe after eating, it's a difference in young people breathe. Because they ain't got all of that clogged up in their intestines.
That's right.
You know, like how when you have to pull pipes out, when they just, the hole start this big, but now it's like this.
Right.
That's the way your intestines are after eating over many years.
Right.
A child is free of all of that because it's just passing through right now. You got to get some pass through sometime. Look over there and get me that. You know what I want. That
Sound like you need some psyllium husk or something.
Yeah. Get me some of that. Get me through over there. Yeah, up there at the top shelf. Let's get some more, bro.
Verse 11. And such were some of you.
And such was what?
Were some of you.
We're talking about those on the abomination list, the felony list. Go ahead.
But ye are washed.
We are what?
Washed.
Uh-huh.
But ye are sanctified.
Uh-huh.
But ye are justified in the name of the Most High of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Right.
And the Spirit of our power.
Right.
All things are lawful unto me.
What did he say?
All things are lawful
He
unto
said
me.
everything is lawful, but he gonna explain what the situation is. Go ahead.
But all things are not expedient.
Uh-huh.
All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any.
See, everything may not be expedient for you. You know you ain't supposed to be working on the Sabbath, man. Shit, they told me they're gonna fire me, and I already signed the contract. I work weekend. Now you can't do that law because expedience will put you in violation of 110.5. You got a choice to make. If I lose this job, then I'm gonna be worse than the infidel because that's my last check. And hell, 200 of them $300 is already gone, and I ain't even got the check yet. Money already been counted out. So now I gotta come. I quit that damn job, woman, and 10 shillings. They ain't gonna make me work on the Sabbath. So ain't no Pampers gonna be bought. People come over, baby in a dish rag instead of a pamper. Just whatever you can find to dry his ass off, and they hard, scraping up his rear end. I ain't need Desinex, and you ain't got no money for that.
Oh my God. Wearing the Sunday paper.
Boy, look here wearing the Sunday paper like you said. Hey, so you have to start working the program. Is there any way, you know, that I can get off on some, you know, Saturdays, or can I switch a shift? And then that law is not expedient, but that law is worked in, and you still be able to do it.
Right.
But you cannot be just forced at hand of law breaking, and we just not learning laws. We got people still asking. We've been doing Passover, show up the day of. Man, I heard of Passover tonight. Tonight? You just found out you got a doctor's appointment tonight?
Right.
Where you been for a whole year? See, y'all, so we have to be careful, y'all.
Right.
Let's get some more of this.
Verse 13.
Yeah.
Meats for the belly.
What?
Meats for the belly.
Uh-huh.
And the belly for meats. But Yahweh shall destroy both it and them.
So we're going to destroy all the flesh. So don't be talking about what you putting in there, what's more. He said, I'm going to destroy all that, the belly and the meats. Go ahead.
Now the body is not for fornication.
What is the body not for?
Fornication.
Uh-huh.
But for the Most High.
Uh-huh.
And the Most High for the body.
Right, so you can't bring that into your body. Fornication is an illegal sexual act. So fornication is up here. It's the octopus body. Then you got the tentacles that hang off the octopus. This one is adultery. This one is idol worship. This is worshiping of other gods. This is bestiality. This is effeminate. This is women on the same sex. But they all fall under fornication. There's felonies of them. This one over here is a harlot. If she is not married to another man and she's having sex, we need a punishment for this fornication, because it appears we can't keep finding it if she ain't married. We only keep finding if a woman plays the harlot and she's married. Burn her with fire. Do her like this. So before we put that in the felony, we need to know which fornication we talking about. It ain't just fornication. There's many levels of illegal sexual intercourse, and they fall under guidelines. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Like killing. When it says thou shalt not kill, well, you told us to go to war. How we gonna not kill? Don't you kill in war like?
Yes, sir. Much killing.
You got self-defense laws in here. If I wound a man to my own hurt, ain't that killing?
Man.
So it don't mean that. It's saying, like Solomon said, there's a time to kill.
That's right.
When he tell you, go put them down, like he told Saul, everybody in that land, put them all down. Ain't that killing?
Yeah.
So what it's talking about is shedding of innocent blood in your killing process. See, if you go to war, you're not killing innocents. It's wartime.
Right.
If you murder, that's the ultimate crime of shedding blood, and there's no, statute of limitations on that killing. You can have vehicular homicide, get loaded up and get behind the wheel of a car and kill a lady walking across the street with a buggy with a baby in it. Because you drunk. That's vehicular homicide. Your beast can get out and kill somebody, and you allowed that beast to get out one chained up. We're going to charge you with manslaughter.
And there's involuntary manslaughter.
Then there's involuntary man. It just happened. He scared me and I stole him in the jaw. He fell and hit his thing on there. He dead. Involuntary manslaughter. But we have to deal when somebody breath leave their body. Ain't nobody scot-free. We need to find out what happened here. How did this person lose his life? Even when we get in Leviticus, talk about a fetus and a woman. If two men are scrapping and the woman getting away and he elbow her falling back and the fetus, she have a miscarriage.
Yep.
They say life for life. Was it called by? Did she get in the way? Was she in there trying to get off of Henry? That's my husband. You get off him. Get back, woman, in. No, you pay for the life of the child, but you don't get murders of an innocent child. See, so everything is defined, y'all. But if you do verse teaching, you'll exclude the law. And y'all, that's what we're not trying to do.
Right.
Law is instructions. If something blow, when you pull out your car manual, don't you go back to the index. Right here. If your blinker don't work, it's two things. The bulb is blow or the fuse is blow. Why are you going to listen to something else, Lisha? Why would you? Well, they say some people say when you blow your horn 3-4 times, it knock your light out. No, This saying.
Right. You shouldn't buy that car.
Let's get some food, y'all. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 14.
Yeah.
And Yahweh has both raised up the Lord and will also raise up us by his own power. Know ye not that your bodies are members of Hamashiach?
What are our bodies?
Members of Hamashiach.
Uh-huh.
Shall I then take the members of Hamashiach and make them members of an harlot?
See, and members of Hamashiach, that's talking about the church. Should I take all y'all, you got this gift, you got that gift, you got that gift. Should I take that and we go worship Baal? Should we go back to Egypt with these gifts? Should we play Simon the sorcerer with these gifts? And we take the whole body? Should we do that? Then what we make Christ's body. Now we got fornication up in here. And this is what we're talking about, y'all. See, why polygamy won't work is because he say follow the laws of the land. The land say you can have one legally according to us. You can't have no other one. If you do, you have to go a different route. You have to go through an adoption process, a power of attorney. You have to get a notarized, stamped individual that say, this second woman that lives in your house, she gave me permission over her. Anything happens, she dies, she go to the hospital, I got charge over her. If you don't have that paperwork, you bring a harlot into your home, and what that means is a woman that don't have no power. She could have just left Earl's house. Now you bringing her talking about my second wife, and you ain't got no power over her. You finna spread some Earl juice around here. You're going to bring that into here. No, this is what he's saying. You're going to bring some of that Egyptian juice in here. That's what he's talking about in Ezekiel 16 chapter when he pick it up. He said, I dress you. I gave you everything you need. I put shoes on your feet. I gave you gold and silver. But you played the harlot. And they didn't give you nothing.
Freebie.
They pulled you pulled the Biggie Smalls. They got through and sent you home back here. I'm through. Send her home to you. That's what we did to the Most High. Right. He said, y'all open y'all legs up for every doctrine that came by. You're a new doctrine this way. You're a new doctrine this way. Here I am. That's how he said we played the harlot. So that's why we were punished for playing the harlot, because we married to the Most High. We can't play the harlot. How you going to say his name and you're throwing crystals on the table? And then you next breath, Yahweh, Yahweh the moon. Cause you saying Yahweh, who you think you fooling? You hoeing around.
It sounds like Earl's juice.
Boy, you almost made that boy spit on his computer. Let's get some more. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro. You say the name of the Lord, you got him trapped in a name, and so that means you can do your devil worship. Go ahead.
Yah forbid.
Yah what?
Forbid.
Yeah.
What? Know ye not that which is joined to an harlot is one body?
It's one what?
Body.
See, when you playing that polygamy game and you got one marriage certificate, everything else, you joining harlots to the body. They can quit at any time. They can go do whatever they want at any time. Their father can show up and say, if you don't get out the way, I'll kill you. If somebody report that they dead, you get the message later. It'll be one of her family members if they decide to call you. The coroner ain't calling you. You ain't got no paperwork. Only paperwork you got is for them brakes, the warranty from AutoZone. How you got that and you ain't got no paperwork on her? All you got is tough talk. You obey me like I'm God. Well, let's see if you're doing what Christ did for the church. Because he ain't left us naked. He ain't left us homeless. He ain't left us begging. He ain't left us none of this. He said, that's the way some of you were. But you're not no more because you've been washed with the word. And how you going to be washed with the word when you're saying it's tampered with? Huh? Some people like 2 wash rags. One they wash their rear end with. Don't wash your face with that rag. But stay out of somebody else's bathroom. That's all I'm going to say. Because you'll never get that smell out your bathroom.
You might get some Earl's juice. Boy,
look at it. E and J, huh, boy? Go ahead.
For two, says he, shall be one flesh.
Uh-huh.
But he that is joined unto the Most High is one spirit.
Is one what?
Spirit.
See, y'all understand the difference? We are spirit, y'all. We are spirit body. We're not a flesh body. We have to communicate through the spirit. We love one another through the spirit. We don't have to be every time you say, "What's up, Aunt Johnny? See y'all in town today. Did you drive the speed limit?"
I know Johnny.
Did Alpha tell you the right? Did Alpha tell you the right exit to get off on? And did you get off on? Look, all that coming. Why we got to do that? Other than, hey, y'all family, good to see you.
Glad to see you made it
Good
safe,
to
brother.
see y'all face again. What the hell is we finna go into judgment about what? What y'all been doing since last time we seen you? I hear you jumping up on bushes, scared of some chihuahua. No, we ain't gonna do that to you, bro.
Hey, next time we see you, we will.
Yeah,
I
but
can hear
y'all
that coming up
understand.
at the tabernacle fire.
It's straight love when we see them, y'all, because we glad to see them because they like family. They tighter to us than our family members. So because we loving in the spirit. And we in the same house, different house. You know, we just family, we just got different mothers, y'all, but we all family, y'all. Unless we get that understood. There's people we ain't never seen. There's people we talk to over in Jerusalem, ain't never laid eyes on them, but they like family. Akda and them, and over in Jamaica and down in Florida, they ain't never seen them, but you talk to them like you've been knowing them your whole life.
That's right.
But that's what Proverbs say. Script say there's a friend that stick it closer than a brother. Let's get some more.
Verse 18.
Yeah.
Flee fornication.
Flee what?
Fornication.
Take off running. Go ahead.
Every sin that a man doeth is without the body. But he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body.
Y'all understand that? Every sin you do is without the body. But when you go to sexual immorality, everything is now internal. Because it's dangerous. You got enough trouble, just you and your woman, and everything is clean, and she may have ate too much and got a yeast infection. You got enough to deal with that. That's why you should be unclean till evening. That don't mean the act was no good. It means there may be a form of contamination somewhere. And now you got a bunch of outside women too that ain't got no power of protection.
Ooh, and if they all in the same house.
Boy, look here. E&J is flowing.
Yeast infections for everybody.
But look here, that's what we're talking about.
Sound like a nasty bakery.
But look here, and the first thing will happen if they show up with child, he gonna ask them how I know it's mine because I don't have no paperwork on you. See, that's when it comes back into what it really is. I know that's mine. How you don't? The only way you would ask that question is if you wasn't raw dogging. You was doubled up for protection. If you wasn't, then how you gonna ask that question to anybody? How I know it's mine? How you don't know it's yours? It better be mine. Better have the same nostril. One ear better be shorter than the other one. He better look just like me. You better have 6 fingers. It was never 6 fingers. It was just a knot over here. Why we call that another finger? That's just
My brother had his till he was like 13.
Was it a real finger though?
No, it was that little knot.
Oh, that little knot. Okay, yeah. Look. See, you could rub your eye without. That little knot was good for rubbing your eye when you had the itch and you was eating food, so you wouldn't just get grease all over you. Just do that little knot like that. But let's keep moving, y'all. Go ahead, y'all.
Verse 19.
Yeah.
What? Know ye not that your body is the temple of the host of the Holy Ghost, which is in you?
Which is what?
Which is in you, which ye have of your house, and ye are not your own.
And we are not our what?
Own. For ye are bought with a price. Therefore glorify Yahweh in your body and in your spirit, which is Yahweh.
See, we the blood bought people. That's what he means. You're blood bought. That sacrifice made for y'all, and y'all just dirtying up your body like that again. He made a sacrifice like that, and y'all play it like that.
Wash you clean.
Wash you clean. That's what he say. I wash you thoroughly in Ezekiel 16. He say, I wash you.
And we go jump in the mud.
Jump right back in the mud.
wallowing in the mire.
Let's speed this up. Matthew 18:18, Deuteronomy 30, y'all, and we're going to get into just a few one-liners, y'all. We may get on out of here on that turn. It just showed up the check.
You been saying that for like 4 weeks.
Right. Y'all, it ain't hard, y'all, but that's what class is about. See, when we're talking about different administrations, if all of us was out on the street corner hollering, what would the hearing be? What would the miracles be? Everybody does the same thing. That's right! Kill a heathen, work a heathen to death. Be under my command. Sack time, triple high priest. That's right! And you talking about putting in some work. They putting in work around here. Y'all ain't got a clue what putting in work is about. When you put in work, it leaves a trail.
Yeah, they don't bring nobody in today.
You gonna come around here tomorrow who ain't putting in work, and this work been put in since the 80s. Still on record work.
Why police never mess with them?
Because they on the 401c3.
Yeah, they part of the
a 501.
Yeah.
Yeah.
501c3, they part of the system.
Yeah.
See, they can talk all
So they have
want.
freedom, yeah, of that.
But see, they gonna always stay within the guidelines of that bylaw
Yeah.
that they signed them paperwork for.
Yeah, have to. See, that's why they can only, when they put their, go ahead, Lex, go ahead, explain yourself.
The Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
So a lot of pro-black rhetoric.
Yeah.
And white man is the blue-eyed devil rhetoric. But they in cahoots with the KKK. For real.
Yeah.
They share money.
Yeah.
The KKK and the neo-Nazis
Yeah.
and the white supremacists funds the Nation of Islam.
Yeah.
Look it up.
Look it up.
Wait a minute.
They fund them to keep this rhetoric going, so it keeps us separate. Separatism.
Wait a minute. This is documented.
This is documented.
You know what else you can find documented? You can Google it right now. Louis Farrakhan teaches Dianetics. Ron L. Hubbard. Google it right now.
Yes.
He's into Scientology now and teaching it to his group because they're on the same playing field called 501c3. So as long as I'm on that, I can accept your behavior and your God.
Right.
Google it real quick. You'll see it.
Yeah.
Louis Farrakhan and science. What is it? Scientology connects Dianetics.
And also see white supremacists, neo-Nazi, and skinheads fund Nation of Islam.
Next, see all One West camps, Talmud and Kabbalah teaching with the hexagram and trying to label it. It looks like the snowflake. I can tell you what it looks like. A lot of things. Look like this wafer right here. To me, look like some good. What's this sesame seed wafer?
Yeah, them
Can we
crazy
use
good.
this? Can we use this?
They, for eating.
Can we wear this cause it looks like that?
You can
No,
get a
see,
little nourishment out of it. That's about it.
no.
What little bit you can get out of it.
So that's what we talking about, y'all.
Yeah, and you can go. They got videos of it.
Yeah.
Documentations of it, of all this.
I can't believe people still follow this.
Boy, look here.
People
They
still follow
sifting
this thing.
through
But bruh,
2/3.
Man, look at how many Israelites
Did it come
that
up?
came to the truth that's following
Right.
men.
Yes, it is. It's right here.
That's following men. They found out the truth, but they still following men.
Tell me what to do.
That's believing in men, that's doing anything they can in their powers to be accepted by a man.
That's that same give us a king spirit.
That's the same thing.
It's
Yeah,
the same
absolutely,
thing.
bro.
It's
It's
the
the
same
same thing.
thing.
We want a king
It ain't
like the
gone.
rest of them.
It ain't gone.
It just shocked me. They actually document this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's documented. And you best believe the white supremacists are going to document it so they can have something that ain't over Farrakhan.
It's right here, a
They got
heathen.
'em.
Let's put up like a heathen right here. Farrakhan goes clear with Dianetics. His picture on it, y'all. We ain't gonna lie on him for no reason.
No.
Inside Farrakhan, Nation of Islam, strange ties to Scientology.
That's it. Wow. I got her daily lease.
So you gonna call him the devil at the next time, but then y'all in the bed, y'all whore around.
Man, his daddy white.
Wow.
Didn't they say his dad
Just
was
like
white?
Yeah.
there's an interview with him, Farrakhan and
Wallace
What?
Muhammad, the son, his son.
I'm talking about the white boy that interviewed him years ago, Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite.
He asked him. He said, "For years you've taught Black Americans that the white man is the blue-eyed devil. Now that knowing that the U.S. government funds the Nation of Islam, will you still say that?" He saying, "We use those tactics to get your attention. Now that we have your attention, there's no need to use such vernacular."
Look, and that's the same thing. Look, camps used that the same way when they was getting everybody to go over to Israel. Tell your parents you want to borrow some money from them, but you know you ain't paying them back because we finna leave the country. And then we're going to trick the government over here. We're going to give them false names. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And then you say, well, ain't that lying to go back home? Well, didn't Jacob trick Isaac? So, what about the 20-year penalty for that?
Right.
Worked for Rachel 7, didn't get her, worked another 7, and then Laban said, give me 6 more years. 20 years for tricking your daddy. So, have you told this crew over here that then Jacob tricked Esau that there's 20 years of penalty to pay? Did you tell them that? Because if you didn't, you cheating?
You trying to mess up
And
my
guess what? They
money.
still there, right?
And it's the same thing as your flea doctrine. What we gonna do about the people in the penitentiary?
Right.
That's been free case. One boy just got out. They gave him 400 years. He did 35 of them. He's out now. What we would have did for him? Everybody leave him in there. He innocent.
And he innocent.
How your doctrine don't include
Multiple
that?
brothers are coming out being innocent after serving multiple years.
Pharaoh said, "Open the prison up."
Yeah.
He said, "Not
Yeah.
one of y'all can stay here. All y'all got to
Right.
go. Open the penitentiaries up too.
So if it's
Everybody
got
got
to
to
be the
go."
same as Egypt, then that has to be the same as
Same
Wales.
thing. Your flea doctrine got to include bond. That's why we start off Melchizedek. Man, male, female, free bond, rich, poor, Jew or Gentile. This is under Melchizedek order. The law applies for everybody. If you don't include everybody, you have an exclusion program.
Right.
And see, just say this so we more on the 513, like free case, not that hog belly now. Because that 12 chart say that, Mexicans are different. That they can be or Spanish or who Indians. They could be Israel. What we're talking about is out of the same household. They can be part of the nation because they're of the fold. But what we're talking about is when you say they can be Israelite, that's why the Sakari cat be saying nigger like it don't mean nothing. Because you let them in your charter and you told me that I was an Israelite. You can't then treat him a second study. He got Israelite boys sitting to the side, and he like, man, hold that nigga. You know this.
Yeah.
Y'all done gave him authority to do that because you got him on your charter. An Indian could come up there and do that, and he get every right that you get. Everything you say, he can say because you're saying they're legal on the 12 chart.
Right.
So then he run this game and saying what he's saying, and now they saying that y'all ain't real Israel. We Israel for real. Mm-hmm. We really the real deal. Y'all Africans. See, but it's because of the charter. These are the 12 tribes, and our 501c3 applies to this 12 tribe chart. So anybody on this chart can do the same things that we doing. So if we call them a nigger, them with the skin they got, they can call them nigger too. They're allowed to under our charter. Y'all understand what we talking about? Because you're mixing it and you got a bunch of whole doctrine.
Yeah.
So everything goes, it don't matter. If they're on the list, they get all of what's on the list. Or you know what happens? Because you're with the government now, you got to have a board, vice president, all of this. Now, if you got 40 people and 21 say, we're going to remove him. 21 can vote you out now. Mm-hmm. That's why they keep splitting like that. And then they start their own faction, running the same program, but just a different split. Now we got a new person in charge. He's the president now, under our 501c3. Y'all understand what is happening? Y'all, we a free church. We try to get what little few donations we get, we try to make it work, y'all. Mm-hmm. But we don't have a situation that where they can tell us, you can't say that or you can't do that. When they tell us that, we're at the end of time. Because as long as they're still in the courthouse and they haven't altered it, They haven't altered the Sabbath. They haven't altered one word of it.
That's right.
And they still say, prove to God you telling the truth. Don't worry about our flesh laws right now. Our Constitution is flesh. Let's get spiritual. Does Big Mama sell drugs? Now remember, you can get time for what? Why don't they say, I ain't put my hand on that old Tampa book. It don't mean nothing to me. Give me some real truth up in here. Go get Pharaoh before I put my hand on something else. Yeah. But no, the Pharaoh worshipers like this. You know why? Because that I ain't gonna say what he looked like, but it's a person that is not of our nation that took the Bible and shot holes in it with an M16 and say now it's the Holy Bible. Well, he was in court about having intercourse with his girlfriend's 14-year-old child, and they say, put it on the Holy Bible.
After you got it
Same
drunk.
one you shut up.
Look, same one you shut up. Now put your hand on it, and we're going to judge you from what you despised. It ain't going nowhere. He ain't going to leave us without this truth. Everybody at Judgment Day say, Lord, how you expect me to know that and it's full of tampering? Paws and pens of the scribe.
All right, boy,
See,
go
ahead, you know. I don't even know why I even made a Judgment Day. Who I'm going to accuse and ain't nothing I could say. If everybody just say, no, Lord, that verse was tampered with, I could do that. Yeah, I guess I can't say nothing. I'm going to have to let you in go on in the kingdom.
No, he is an Israelite.
Yeah. Well, Lord, I didn't take it. Okay. I didn't take touching the child like how it was written. I think it should have been the other way. I was taking the child, but I wasn't taking the child. Okay. Go on in. Are you losing your mind?
Was it Earl's juice or?
Juice. Yeah. Boy, don't joke that boy. But see, y'all, that's what we talking about. That's how idiotic it be. Once they say them things, they are removing judgment. They don't want no judgment. If it's tampered with, how you gonna say who doing's wrong? How you gonna even say anything about the devil? How you gonna twist your lip to say something about a demon? How we know we reading that's the truth? How we know that what Lucifer that hit Michael in the head according to y'all, and he was thrown out of heaven? How we know that ain't the truth? Because if we do say it, how you gonna stop us and you already say it's tampered with? How you gonna stop me? Y'all's all or nothing. You can't be lukewarm.
That's right.
He gonna spit you out of his mouth. And when you're lukewarm, that means you're a fence rider. And it don't look good for a man to have a gap between his legs. Let's get some more, y'all. Yeah, let alone the fence. Go ahead. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 18.
Yeah, what it say?
Verily I say
Hold
unto
on,
you.
I hear some pages flipping.
Yeah, they close to you.
So close you can feel it.
Go ahead, y'all. I'm there.
Matthew chapter 18, verse 18.
Yeah.
Verily I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven. And whatsoever ye shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Again I say unto you, that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven.
He said two. If y'all agree, it has to be agreement.
Right.
That could be husband and wife. That could be partners that grew up together. But if two of you agree on anything on earth, if it's the truth, I got y'all. But that's all it takes is two. It don't take a gang. A bunch of y'all don't mean nothing to the Most High. Like in Gideon and when they had them soldiers down there. A bunch of soldiers. He said, we need this big army. He said, no. He said,
take all of them with you.
Test them at the waters. Whoever gobbles the water, you don't need them. You want the ones that's sipping, looking around. Because if you gobble water down, you ain't be able to do nothing else. You got a belly full of water, it's sloshing around, you gonna be slow. You can't fight.
Cats just sipping and looking around, they on guard.
Yeah, how you gonna fight and gotta pee?
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought, yeah. Go ahead, bro.
Verse 20.
Yeah.
For where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them.
See, so now this is what he's saying. Where 2 or 3 are gathered in the midst of me, there I am.
Yes, sir.
That's church. He said, when you're talking about me, that's church. I don't dwell in temples made with men's hands. This is just a place of worship.
Right.
They have a lot of things going on up here. They could have a Christmas party down the hall. This is just where we come in and talk about the word. Like Lot surrounded in Sodom and Gomorrah, but his house was reading the word. Because he told them, brothers, don't do so wickedly. And what is wickedness? Sin, ain't it?
Practice sin.
But he's all surrounded by it. He didn't have to get out. I mean, yeah, it troubled him every day because it kept growing. Like it's growing now.
Right.
It troubles us. You want out of America, but ain't no place like this on earth. Where else you gonna go? Where you can eat any time of the day, any time of the night. If you got a card, some money, or a pistol, you can eat here. But you go to somewhere else, it may be trouble. Like they sending them on that flea doctrine over to Honduras, and they crawling on the ground in the night trying to dig up some potatoes for their family because they done took their $5 grand and left them over there. And they waiting on Babylon to be destroyed. Now they over there trying to get back home, but they done tricked all their family members and told them, I'm gonna give you the money back tomorrow. Soon as my windfall come in, I got a payment coming in. I'm gonna loan you this money now, but don't play with my money. I gotta pay my house note tomorrow. And you like, I'm gonna be gone in the wind. And you get over there, and now you need them to get back home. Where your spiritual leaders at? Why did they just buy a house in Florida and you over in Honduras? Y'all see something wrong with this picture, like?
Something majorly wrong.
Why you buying stock here and you should be running? Let's get some more, y'all, for we need to get into the heart of this. Go ahead.
Then came Peter to him and said, Lord, how oft shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Till 7 times. Yahushua says unto him, I say not unto thee until 7 times, but until 70 times 7.
So look here, y'all. We talking about 70 times 7. That's 419. He said, how oft should my brother sin and I forgive him? It's not the same sin. But notice we're talking about 2. So this is really dealing with husband and wife first. You know what I'm saying? You got to, you going to forget, look, you'll use up 350 of these in a week. If y'all can't come to the right understanding, you kiss my donkey. You kiss my donkey. I'm just using that word. But y'all in the same household. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry too, man. I shouldn't have did that. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry too, man. I shouldn't have done that.
Now,
What we up to? Look, 225 times, but they can't be the same sins or it's insanity.
Right. That's right.
Now you say you weren't going to leave the trash out there like that and the raccoons out there, when I go out there, they scare the hell out of me. Why don't you go out there in the morning time? No, that ain't fixing the problem.
Shit, they might be early rising.
Yeah. But you'll use majority of them 490 times in your own household. Yeah. But they can't be the same sins because it had to be repentance. Repentance means I turn away. If I say I ain't going to call you that name no more and I do it again, I haven't turned away from it. Right. If I call you this type of woman, now you got 4 legs, and I do it again when I say I ain't going to do it. Too bad you lucky trying to figure that one out. So if you're saying that, and then you call it that again the following week, you haven't repented from that. It's your anger level that you're saying, I know this gets my points across. But not only that, but it cuts to the bone. But then I got to sit around here and watch it heal. And then I cut it again. It's like keep knocking the scab off. He like, how long you gonna keep knocking the scab off? Just store up all your 790. You like, how many we got to spare? Shit, boy, we got about 785 to go. Oh, so we ain't been doing too much. You know what I'm saying? You to minimize in your household like Abraham and Sarah. They just start whittling away. And we have to do that same thing with the church body. You can't just have a fault every time, bro. Yeah, I forgive you. And their atonement would be this: if I've offended any one of you, I'm sorry. If you don't know who you offended, you still on milk.
Yeah.
How you don't know? How we don't know in this walk? You know what came out of your mouth.
Right.
You know if you told somebody, yeah, it looked good. It looked good if you was a real man. Wait a minute. What do you mean? See, y'all, so we have to be careful, y'all. We all we got. We can't go to war in front of nobody else. We the light, we the remnant. We got to show everybody else the light. And we can't show them that they come in. We fight. Hell, they want to get in on the fight. They'll be like double dutch. Who we going to steal on, him or him?
Right. But if you can't figure out who you offended, you've probably offended everybody. Yeah.
Boy, yes, sir, you done lost track.
Right.
And you think you
can
can
offend.
look. But the problem is you ain't went to him. So you can't ask forgiveness until you done went to him. You're just saying, how about if everybody just, you can see, you know how them little hands come up, eyes go up, and all them hands just pop, bing, 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 me, I was offended, bing, 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 bing. So you got to go to each one of them like Paul did.
Right.
On the road to Damascus. Have you done that before this day, or you just want a general apology?
Right.
Y'all forgive me. No, not what you did, Negro. It's more than that. You just can't holler that on the Day of Atonement. This is the beginning of the new year. We're starting fresh.
Right.
Let's get some more, y'all.
Where you want to
That was
go?
all you want.
Okay, let's get Deuteronomy 30. Y'all just want to read the first few verses on this because we're still in the wilderness. Now we finna get into the scriptures concerning feasting within me. Y'all, we had to go through all that law so you understand this is an eternal walk. The law is spiritual. It's not a fleshly law. It's not if I got caught that I'm sorry. I'm sorry because I disrespected you and I shamed you. Like you shame your parents, they have to take off work and come up there to the school. You sitting in the principal office.
Ooh, ain't no worse feeling.
You done put tax in the teacher's seat. Boy, where you learn that? You know what that do to your parents when they walk in there? What he do? Yeah, he put a few thumbtacks in there and then I don't know what got into him, but it was a couple drywall screws, 2 inches. That's what made her jump up and hit her head on the ceiling fan in the classroom. Look here, boy.
And they, imagine your mama coming to school with a detective.
Oh, boy, look here. Yeah, Zeb, you had a rough one, didn't you?
You know that's one of
Yeah, boy, look here. Boy, you know that's trouble. What's that?
Happened to Rob Knighton as a teacher. Rob Perry as a teacher.
Oh, yeah. Boy, throwing, look, he had a bad class. He was teaching bad, children in special class. Boy, but he know how to handle them now, though, because all the teachers have him come handle their class. But he came over one day, man, he had so many of them chalk, like they was hitting him in the back with them old erasers. It was just chalk marks all up here on the back of his head.
That's a strong
Then he got into it, one through a computer at him, but he know how to handle them.
That's a strong
I ain't gonna say what techniques he used, but his techniques are quite efficient.
The parent when he did the soda.
Oh, yeah. This was them. When he left the room, a student spit in his soda. And when he came back, he guzzled a little bit, and all the class started, and he looked around, what? He spit in your soda.
Yeah, that would have been the day.
He took him to the office, called his parents. He said the boy mother came in there, and she said, what'd he do? He spit in his, you spit in his soda? She went up to the machine, clink, clink, pulled another spray. She said, spit in it, Mr. Perry. He said, what?
Damn, really?
You better drink it. Drink it now.
What you have done will be.
Now go get that damn book bag. We going home. I'm gonna whoop your ass too. See?
Oh, and then you got triple.
Look here.
You got doubled up.
He said, I feel bad for him. Look, cause he drank Camo. Y'all know that's that beer with 3 X's on it. Coke 45 is like non-alcoholic compared to what he was drinking. So you know that was on his breath. And he loved Walkers, so that was on his breath when he spit. The boy, look here.
That little boy was drunk.
And his tongue was burning.
And his ass was whooped.
Right. So y'all,
He got a whammy. Boy.
but they know how he get down, but he don't abuse them. You know, he just know how to get those children attention. It's more than an ocean, y'all. When it is today, you can't touch. But y'all, we're gonna speed it on up, y'all. Where we at? Deuteronomy 30?
Yes. Deuteronomy 30.
Get them first 3. Now y'all know we still in the wilderness when this happened. And what we're getting back on to is feasting within. Can we do feast days outside the law? Y'all, we had 3 pilgrimage feasts. It was the Passover, a Feast of Unleavened Bread was one, Pentecost, and Tabernacle. Those were called pilgrimage feasts. That means if you were able to travel to Jerusalem. Right now, y'all, if it was some kind of way, ain't nobody got no warrants. We can get passports for everybody. Y'all, we got the plane charter. Y'all, we going to Jerusalem for Pentecost. And we go, that's a pilgrimage we're allowed to make, and we're able to do it. But if you can't do it, if you can't make that period, hell, some of us can't go to East St. Louis. Get caught over in East St. Louis and on papers.
On paper, boy.
I just went over to play the Powerball. Did you cross that bridge? Yeah. Did you contact your parole officer to tell him you're going into a new state so we can call the East St. Louis police and tell them you over there? No, I didn't. Get your ass in the back of the car. And you talking about taking somebody somewhere. Y'all, we have to make that so when you're talking about a pilgrimage, and look, the low counts back 10 years ago say it's 40 million of us here. Ain't that right, Lice? Now, we got 11 more tribes. Where you going to put them in Jerusalem? For 3 feast days. What airline's going to be able to handle 40 million here times 11 is what? 400 million? What we going to put, how we going to get 400 million people in that space, in that time, in the time of these feast days? Y'all see, some of it is just tomfoolery. Pilgrimage mean if you can make the journey to Jerusalem, make it. It's like y'all make the journey here, man. We're going to St. Louis for this feast day. Y'all, if we were able to, man, we're going to Jerusalem for it. We're going back to the homeland. But we're going to get into the scriptures that allow this, because y'all, it'd be no stopping if scriptures was because we're in captivity.
We would never do the
We
feast
would never
days.
do the feast days.
And then being scattered to the 4 corners of the earth.
Yeah.
There won't be no feast days or no Sabbaths.
And not only
being
that, but you
celebrated.
keep cutting out stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't supposed to work in a strange land. See, that's called slavery. And I hate to keep bringing them up, but that's what you hog about. They had some dude championing them, talking about, yeah, he had to go into slavery so we wouldn't lose the study spot. What do you call slavery? Oh, he had to get a job, so slavery pays?
Right.
You Negroes
He
crazy.
had to go, what?
He said he had to go into slavery so we can keep the building. So what you mean? Because he was an accountant.
Wow.
So you got a paycheck, you in slavery. Slavery pays, Elisha? What a... That's what I'm trying to figure out. What slavery pays like that? And you comparing it to bondage.
I don't know, never heard of such a thing.
Go ahead, sis.
When you end up owing all of the taxes after.
Oh, yeah. Well, you sure gonna be in bondage to that. But look, you ordered for that because they sure tell you give Caesar what?
What is Caesar?
So when Caesar say, I needs money for you in it, that's your house, but that's my land that's sitting on.
Right.
I don't care you pay $300,000 for it. Miss 3 years, and I'm gonna sell it for about $13,000 or the highest bidder. I don't need it. I still own the land. Whoever buys it, whoever buys it, I still own the land. That's your car, but don't you put it on my street unless you got some tax money.
Right.
Some license plates of mine. Put it on my streets and see what I do. You better stay in the driveway and do what you did when you was 8 and 9. I'm going to the store. Let's keep it going, y'all. We got to get caught up, y'all. Let's go. Where we at?
Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 1.
What it say?
And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse.
See, it's blessing and curses coming upon us in captivity. Because this is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He just come out of Deuteronomy 28, 29, and 30. Go ahead.
Which I have set before thee. And thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Most High thy power hath driven thee.
So upon all the nations, we call on blessings and cursing. So think about that. Is it a blessing to do a righteous, holy thing?
Yes.
So he said, wherever I drive you, the blessings will come wherever I drive you to. So what's the only thing you can get a blessing doing in another nation? But keeping what? He said, I got to bless you there. Look, I'm not going to put you in a place where you can't serve me.
Yes.
Why would I do that to you and then tell you you owe me on Judgment Day? Well, you didn't keep this law in captivity, so no, go on, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. No, we don't. We serve a mighty God.
A righteous.
A righteous God, Elijah. Let's get some more.
Verse 2.
Yeah.
And shalt return unto the Most High thy power, and shalt obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then the Lord thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whither the Most High thy power has scattered thee.
So right here, he telling us to do the laws in a strange land, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
He say, if you do them there, I will gather you. I'm not going to bring you home and you don't know what I require. I kicked you out about bad behavior. Now you're going to come back here with just what they taught you. You got to learn what I taught you before I let you come back in the house. You kick somebody out of the house, do they come back with the same behavior?
No.
Knocking on the door.
So how did they learn, and where did they learn that? Outside.
Like the prodigal.
Yeah, like the prodigal. When you come back, the rules are still the same. Look, you can hear all the lies you want about down here, but we ain't never put nobody out. When they come out, I say, no, they left. Look, if you come back down here and we ain't had no discussion, you just come back and sit in that room, that means you coming back and say, I got my mind right. I agree with what y'all saying. Because we ain't had no powwow. And there's the brother right over there. He's been missing for a few weeks. And y'all, we did him wrong and he back. So we going to change to what he like. He likes tomfoolery and knuckleheadism. So we told him it couldn't happen around here. So he's back. So we're into a little knucklehead. Woo, 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 woo. And then we start doing. Y'all think we going to do that madness? Y'all crazy. We ain't putting up with that foolishness. We tell you these the rules. They go for everybody sitting in here. Look, we can't do that. It's going to collapse everything we got. If you don't like it, D-E-D-A-D-O. Dead-a-do. That's all we say. And if you walk out that door, the rules will be the same when you come back. Unless you come back and you making a YouTube page. Yeah, they changed their mind. They let me in and do dirty and them. All us come back.
Here you go.
Shit. Yeah. I ain't gonna even tell you, bro. Go ahead, y'all. Let's get some more.
Thank you, sister, for putting me in.
Let's get it, y'all. Where we at? Like, no, we can hold that, y'all. We can hold that, y'all. I just wanted y'all to see
The whole family
look. Ain't we still in the wilderness?
Yes.
And we still in the wilderness right here.
Yes.
Is he talking about captivity? If we go into captivity, to do right in captivity.
Yes, sir.
Did he tell us to do our own thing or keep the commandments in captivity?
The commandments.
So you
And
got to
live.
have them to keep them. Ain't no nation we been in, this ain't came with us. No captivity. And what I'm talking about is bondage. It was with us in Babylon.
Yep.
Cyrus the Persian had it. He let us go back because it was there. It was in Egypt. It's been everywhere we've been captive to because he said, I can't leave you without your manual. Your comforter. Absolutely. Let's keep going, y'all. Let's get Exodus 34. And these are the ones that they use to say you can't do the feast outside the land. So we're going to run these real quick. Exodus 34:24, Deuteronomy 16:16. Y'all gone? Shalom, my kid. Shalom, Sister Sheila. All right, y'all be careful out there. Watch them jack artists. Yeah.
Exodus 34.
And 24. And then we'll hit Deuteronomy 16:16. Y'all, this is what they'll put on individuals doing that verse teaching. But what they don't do is don't explain all the other scriptures that's saying or appear to say they're doing it outside the land. You have to do that first. Like we going over theirs first, and then we're going to go over the one. So we Colossians 2:16. You can't judge us on what we're doing.
Right.
What you have to do is show us that everything we're going to say for the pro side, that why we doing them, you have to show us where it say, and woe to them that doeth the pilgrimage in a strange land. We need to see it, don't we?
Right.
Or don't tell us what we can't do. That's like telling us when your mama say don't let nobody in. She don't really mean that. I'm your next door neighbor. You better leave that door locked.
That's right.
Let's get some more.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 24.
What it say?
For I will cast out the nations before thee,
Uh-huh.
and enlarge thy borders. Neither shall any man desire thy land, when thou shalt go up to appear before the Most High thy power,
Uh-huh.
thrice in a year.
How many times in a year?
Thrice, 3 times
Uh-huh.
in the year. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leaven, neither shall the sacrifice of the feast of the Passover be left until the morning.
So right here, y'all, that's all we want to just get to that, where it's talking about the appear before the Lord. 24, I was cast out the nations before thee. And they tell you that y'all should go up and appear before the Lord thy God thrice in a year, 3 times. Those are what's called the pilgrimage feast. See, before you say you can't do the feast in the land, so if we can't do Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, because there are 2 feasts tied into one. Pentecost and Sukkot. So can we do atonement in the land? Can we do trumpets in the land? Can we do, because look, this only saying 3 of them. Is Leviticus 23 only talking about 3 of them? What do we do about the other ones that's mentioned?
The memorials for
The memorials? I'm not talking
all
about trumpets.
generations.
Trumpets in there. Trumpets is in there. Day of Atonement and trumpets in that same Leviticus 23. Why we don't have to go to Jerusalem to do that? See how easy they distract your mind with partially taking stuff out? And that just that little bit took out got you thinking, damn, we can't do it in the land. Well, you're missing a few. You're missing a few.
And the first Passover was in Egypt.
Look,
So how you not?
39 of them was in the wilderness.
Right.
License.
Right.
But they make it up as they go, because I had a person come to me with that crap, and he said we can't do that in the land. I said, well, how come we not eating pork?
Right.
And how come we not celebrating Christmas? How come we not just doing your own thing?
Doing your own thing, right.
You can't do what you want
Right.
to do at your will. It don't make no sense.
Right.
See, but that's what we're talking about. The whole thing is to get rid of judgment. So let's get that Deuteronomy, y'all. We're going to speed these over to the last one. We're going to close on out of here.
Let's say Deuteronomy 16.
Yeah, 16:16. See if you need to back it up, Elijah.
Let's start at 15.
Yeah, this Sister Patel say some people went over to, back over to Ghana, say they came in, took the land, tore their house down, took the land back from them. Now they over there trying to get back here. Y'all, I understand this is, Satan's seed is here. We understand that clearly. USA under Satan's authority. So we understand where his seed is, but where else you gonna go? We were under Satan's seed in Egypt. Everybody was coming to Egypt. We went to Egypt to get food.
Right.
So you can talk about leaving here, you can call it the devil all you wanted, but we're playing the game like they playing it. They know the Most High ain't gonna destroy it as long as we here, and we know he ain't gonna destroy it as long as we here.
That's right.
So everybody get a fair chance, don't they, like to get it right? Go ahead, bro. Where you at?
Because there's going to be a famine.
Yes, sir. We seeing it slowly happening
Like it or
now.
not, there is going to be a famine.
Yeah.
And the superpowers are going to be the only ones that's going to have all the bread.
Boy, look here.
So all the ones that fled to other nations going to be coming back here to try to get some bread.
Right. Your child now asking you, cause they done shorten the Happy Meals, and look, it can't even fill him up no more. Daddy, did you lose part of your job? This meal looks small. No, it's inflation. What you got to say?
I go to a lot of pantries
Uh-huh.
on a regular basis, and I've seen so many foreign people. Bow garden, don't even speak English, and the order that you're supposed to stay in, they don't even, it's freezing cold outside, they don't have coats or anything, but they standing in line, and so many Americans take for granted the free food that's being given, but the foreign people come and they know how to manipulate their way to get to the front, and it's almost like a spirit of discernment where you're looking at where all these foreign people.
You ain't seen nothing yet, sir.
I know it. I know it.
Look,
Mm-hmm.
we're having a problem with tent cities
Yes.
on street block. You may wake up one day and there'll be 3 tents on your sidewalk.
I see them.
And I'm talking about they out in the counties now. They up
the
in Arnhem.
cities.
They out no fouling. You got people standing out there with signs. I'm talking about Hebrews. It done stretched that far that they're setting up tent cities everywhere. I'm telling you, you'll come out of your house and it'll be 2 tents right there by your driveway. What you gonna do? It's people all in California, San Francisco. They and one dude called it San Francisco.
Yeah.
That they just lined up in front of your store. One dude came out and started squirting water on the homeless person. They locked him up.
And the law don't do anything about the people living in the tents with all of the stuff, trash around. But if you have anything on your property, quote unquote,
Right.
that you own, they'll send you.
Well, look, it's called public It's called public property sidewalk. The only way they gonna move you, they just moved them from up under the bridge down there next to the Jones Dome because we got the new football team.
Right.
So y'all got to get going.
And they redid
Y'all
it.
can't be right here. Look, we're doing some tailgating, not homeless tailgating.
And they redid them buildings on the landing too.
You got to get all of that stuff. They came in with dump trucks and scooped the whole homeless camp up and told them y'all got to go find some new places to stay at. But we got a football team coming here, and they gonna need all this for tailgating.
But they do have a little community they built for them where they
Right,
yeah.
RV park was.
But you're gonna outgrow it.
Yeah, I mean,
It's temporary.
It's temporary.
temporary, but they have small, them tiny houses
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
all
got
set
that
up
too.
in there
Yeah.
for a lot of the homeless.
Yo, but everybody trying to get here. Ain't nobody trying to get out.
Right.
Everybody trying to come here. That ought to tip you off. It must not be no food. Everybody coming here. Look, we understand what they do and the wickedness that's here. But they're playing the game too. As long as we got them, we stay in charge. But we gonna have to feed them.
That stuff ain't happening over in them other countries.
Sure ain't.
Racism and everything. Shit, you
Yeah,
just
look.
ain't. You just ain't seen it on the video. Right. It's happening.
Yeah, it's happening.
And I was working on a house out in Maryland Heights,
Uh-huh.
and I'm getting off of Lindbergh at Midland, busting that right, but there's
Yeah.
some trees down in there. I looked over in the trees, and there was 3 tents down there.
In the tree off of Lindbergh.
Off Lindbergh and Midland, right there by the Amoco and the Denny's, and there'll be white guys out there begging all the time. And I told Israel, I say, they out there every day like a job.
Yeah.
And then we looked over there, and there was 3 tents. They lived down in them tents in a little area of woods, and then they come up and beg for bread.
See, a lot of people lost their
White guys.
jobs too during the COVID.
Yep.
So y'all, we got a lot of that left over. And when you leave under them circumstances, now you're living outside. Not feces close by. You pissing right there. Get rough, y'all. Let's finish this up, y'all. We got to get caught up in these last. They one-liners, though. So we clear this on up. Deuteronomy 16:16.
3 times in a year.
Start at 15, Elisha.
7 days shalt thou keep.
Y'all, we're in Deuteronomy 16, verse 15. Go ahead.
7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Most High thy power,
Uh-huh.
in the place which the Most High shall choose,
Uh-huh.
because the Most High thy power shall bless thee in all thine increase,
Uh-huh.
and in all the works of thine hands. Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice.
Uh-huh.
3 times in a year.
How many times, Elisha?
3 times
Uh-huh.
in a year shall all thy males appear before the Most High thy power, in the place which he shall choose.
Uh-huh.
In the feast of unleavened
There the
bread,
one is.
and in the feast of weeks,
There's 2 Pentecosts.
and in the feast of tabernacles,
Uh-huh.
and they shall not appear before the Most High empty.
See, and you can't go back to the land with nothing to offer. You just on a free ride. Man, can I get in? I'll ride in the trunk. Man, I'll ride in the back seat with somebody else. No, you can't appear empty. When you make that pilgrimage, it means you're traveling this journey to offer your first fruits.
Right.
You're offering the best that you have, because if we keep reading this, it'll tell you, or is that 14 too, by where it say turn it into money?
Yeah.
I believe that's 14. And then when you get up there, spend the money there. If you can't take oxen and sheep, turn it into money, and then do what you're gonna do when you get there. But y'all, this can't be a law that you're in captivity, and captivity come with bondage, and he said, keep my commandments. See, but this is only 3. They make you think it's every one in Leviticus 23. What about trumpets and atonement?
Right.
We can't keep them in the land? What about dedication? What about Purim? Purim, we was in captivity, weren't we? Didn't they sent out the edict, didn't they, to kill all the Hebrews, didn't they? So y'all, it ain't hard, but we're going to get right to the scriptures that nail it to the coffin, so to speak. Numbers 9, 5, and 6. We're going to run through these, y'all. We're going to close on out.
Already got a question.
We got a question?
It's
Okay.
for Ariel.
Oh, okay.
But it's a beautiful question to see.
Okay.
Because that means brother getting his sight back. If you can see that watch.
Well, look here. I ain't even sure about who that was.
Yeah.
Who was
I
that?
think it might be his rib.
That's all.
Okay.
in the dog.
Well, I talked to him yesterday. He's saying it's coming.
All praise to the
All
Most
praise.
High.
No, I quit.
Let's get it, y'all. Where we at? Numbers 9, 5, and 6.
Where did you stop at Deuteronomy? I'm sorry.
We did Deuteronomy, that was
15
16,
and 16.
15 and 16.
Okay, now you number.
We're going to Numbers chapter 9, 5, and 6. What's going on that time? You chilling?
Boy, he been quiet these past couple weeks. Boy, they working you like that?
Yeah, they getting their money's worth out of it.
Yeah. I see his little videos. His hard hat playing with turtles.
It worked.
Well, I was gonna say if he making films, he ain't working. He's filming them work.
He working smart, not
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah, he's showing everybody else working.
Exactly.
Let's get it, y'all.
The book of Numbers, chapter 9 and verse 5. Let me just make sure. Yep. Everybody there? All right. It reads, "And they kept the Passover on the 14th day of the first month at even in the wilderness of Sinai."
Where did we keep that one at?
In the wilderness of Sinai. According to all that the Most High commanded Moses, so did the children of Israel. And there were certain men who were defiled by the dead body of a man. And they could not keep the Passover on that day.
In the wilderness. Go ahead.
And they came before Moses and before Aaron on that day. And those men said unto him, "We are defiled by the dead body of a man. Wherefore are we kept back? And we may not offer an offering." That we may not offer an offering of the Most High in his appointed season among the children of Israel. And Moses said unto them, "Stand still, and I will hear what the Most High will command concerning you." And the Most High spake unto Moses, saying, "Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If any man of you or of your posterity shall be unclean by reason of a dead body, or be in a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Passover unto the Most High. The 14th day of the second month at even they shall keep it, and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it until the morning, nor break any bone of it. According to all the ordinances of the Passover, they shall keep it. But the man that is clean, and is not in a journey, and forbeareth to keep the Passover, even the same soul shall be cut off from among his people, because he brought not the offering of the Most High in his appointed season. That man shall bear his sin.
Go ahead, read that next verse.
And if a stranger shall sojourn among you, and will keep the Passover unto the Most High, according to the ordinance of the Passover, and according to the manner thereof, so shall he do. Ye shall have one ordinance, both for the stranger and for him that was born in the land.
So y'all see, if we go on a long journey, we still have to keep the Passover. Even if we there for 30 more days, you still got to do it in that land. Or whatever the reason be, there was always a makeup Passover. But we don't have 20 makeup Passover. It's only one makeup Passover. One. And wherever you at, you make it up there. If you can't get back or you unclean, what if somebody died before you again? You still, if you're saying you still have to go back to the land, you have to wait another 30 days, don't you, like?
Yeah.
But you only get the main one, and the backup. That's it. So you got to get it in. It's like telling a woman, you know, well, you can't come in the temple because it's that time. Well, it don't be that time 30 days from now, Elisha?
So it is going to be.
So it's going to be on the same time, ain't it? She can't never come back to the temple if you understand it like that. But if you don't understand the washing ritual and the conscience of here to say, no, these cramps on me like I'm going to get you sucker.
Uh-oh.
Y'all remember when the girl was saying, yeah, me too, girl. That, if they on you like that, stay home.
Right.
You can't be sitting up there looking like a gorilla sucking on lemon. They like, ooh, she done got a hold to some bitter herb. No.
You done got a hold of this bitter
Let's keep nothing. You don't want to go like that. So go ahead. Come on, let's get some more. Joshua 5 and 10.
Boy, I feel for Earl.
Boy, he can't stay at the tire shop nowhere, can he? Joshua 5 and 10. Yeah, we're going to roll through these outside the land. Y'all, we're going to get into the book of Tobit. Yeah, they one line, so we're going to get this and going to close on out.
The book of Joshua.
Now, you remember this Passover was in the wilderness of Sinai. That's in the Arabian Peninsula.
Yes, sir.
That's where the second Passover took place. The first one was in Egypt. We put it over our doors in a strange land, wasn't we? Yep. See, this is what you would have to start out the gate explaining. How the Lord gonna switch up on us, and we did it in captivity.
The first one.
The very first one. The Passover is meant for that. He could come that night of the Passover at the second coming. Will we be ready? Will you have the blood right here, though?
Over your heart.
Instead of the doorpost. It can happen any day, like.
Any day.
Let's get some more.
The book of Joshua, chapter 5 and verse 10.
Yeah.
And the children of Israel encamped in Gilgal.
Where they camp?
In Gilgal. And kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month at even in the plains of Jericho.
In the where?
In the plains of Jericho.
So we keep it in the plains of Jericho now. Can we get anywhere where he say, and keep thou the 3 great feasts in the plains of Jericho? Look, Deuteronomy is still law. It's the same Moses. We ain't went through. Look, Moses didn't go into the promised land. So Deuteronomy 30, you can't say it was after the wilderness. Hell, he couldn't go in the promised land. You can't go in there because of this wheat stuff. You and your brother. Told y'all about that. You think all them miracles, you get to just get in now in that rotten flesh. Told you about that wheat stuff. Look over there and see how it looks.
Right.
You won't get to do no Passover over there. Look over there, look good. Now go up there and die. Get out of my face. See, we don't understand this stuff took place, and this is the writer in Deuteronomy 30. So when he's writing to do the 3 feasts, he knows what he's talking about. He's looking at the situation. When we get to this point, when you're in a condition like this, we're going through wartime night right now. What if it's saying do it now and you're in the wilderness? So you think they packed it up and went to the wilderness? We didn't get in there till David set that up. The first one we doing in our truly in the homeland.
Yeah.
But it was given to Abraham in the promise.
That's right.
400 years before we went to Egypt. That's why Galatians say the law cannot disannul the promise. If you disannul the promise, then you break the law. Promises are kept by law, ain't they?
Yeah.
Look, if you don't mean a promise, you do like this to break the law, don't you?
You bind your back.
Yeah, dog. I'm with you all the way.
But the law is a contract.
The law is contract. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
The promise is the reward.
Absolutely, Elisha. Absolutely. Nahum. We're going to run through these. 115. So far, we got 2 outside the land. 3. Egypt, wilderness of Sinai, and the plains of Jericho. Yeah, y'all, we did this lesson for, well, not for individual, but individual that had the questions concerning a big country, but Skinny Black just told me they had to run him up to the hospital.
Big country?
Yeah, big country. So y'all send out some prayers for big country, y'all. The devil trying to punish him. You want to know it? Well, you ain't gonna hear it. He'll hear it in spirit.
Yeah, well.
Y'all still looking for that Nahum? Is after Micah.
Man, T-Blue was just talking about it last night. He's supposed to be coming to do a song. He's supposed to do a song for us.
Micah's after Amos. Yeah, I talked to him the other night. He was talking clear as a bell. What y'all laughing at?
She said, where Amos at?
Oh. Right after Genesis.
After Revelation.
Yeah. Let's get it, y'all. We gotta get caught up. We can get on out of here.
Now, what chapter?
1:15.
1:15.
I just found it. I'm telling you.
I'm in Nehemiah.
It's like 2 pages, ain't it?
I look up like this ain't right.
What we always say, go back to the what? What's in the beginning? The index.
Table of contents.
Yeah, but look,
Table of contents.
this
Oh,
one name
look
right
there.
here, the page number gone.
We ain't talking about your book. We ain't talking about your book.
That look like a toilet paper short.
It's soft enough. I'm telling you, boy. Gotta work that book, baby.
You say 1 and what?
15.
15?
Yep.
What book is it?
Nahum.
Nahum.
Right after Micah.
N-A-H-U-M. Right, like you just said, right after Micah.
Before Habakkuk.
Is it in the King James Version?
Huh?
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
She said it's in the King James.
Name,
One of the books you
what
might read
chapter?
go to.
I'm sorry.
1.
It's only three chapters anyway in Nahum, right?
Yeah. Look, y'all, right after Micah.
You keep stopping, chewing, laughing, saying we don't.
No, I'm saying Nahum is after Micah. Y'all still searching? Come on, y'all. We got to get moving. See, y'all be calling me Pastor Long Wind, y'all.
Don't get him
Oh, now it's everybody else.
Yeah. Y'all the flock Long Wind.
Long-winded flock.
Flock, yeah. Let's get it,
How
y'all.
does it?
Nahum, chapter 1, verse 15.
Uh-huh.
Behold, upon the mountains, the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace. O Judah, keep thy solemn feast, perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off.
So it said, keep the solemn feast. And when we read this in Nineveh, you read verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
What it say? Verse 1.
The burden of Nineveh,
Uh-huh.
the book of the vision of Nahum, the Escolite,
Uh-huh.
El-Kothite. Yah is jealous,
Uh-huh.
and the Most High revengeth.
Uh-huh.
The Most High revengeth, and is furious. The Most High will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies.
So right here, we're in Nineveh. And verse 15 he say, publish peace, O Judah, keep thy solemn feast, perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off. So he just saying, just keep on doing what you're doing. We got him. You get into chapter 2, it get even in deeper. Let's hit the next one. We're in the book of Tobit, chapter 2, verse 1 and 2.
That's in the Apocrypha.
Yeah.
Chapter
Tobit.
2, 1 through 2.
Tobit chapter 2, verse 1.
I tell you what, hold on, before we do that, Zeb, hit chapter 1, verse 1 and 1, so we can establish 2 and 1. Just hit 1 and 1.
Tobit chapter 1, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
The book of the words of Tobit, son of Tobiel, the son of Ananel, the son of Audiel, the son of Gabriel, of the seed of Asael,
Uh-huh.
of the tribe of Naphtali.
So we know this is Israelite. We're in a strange land, but we're given tribal order. Like Paul said in Romans 11, I'm a Roman citizen, but my tribal origin, I'm an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. See, we're American citizens, but we're Israelites after the tribe of Judah. So we see we're in Nineveh. Go ahead, what did verse 2 say, Zeb?
Verse 2?
Yeah, I just want you, 2 and 1.
Oh, 2 and 1.
No. 1 and 2. Yes, sir.
Right. Chapter 1, verse 2. Who in the time of Enomazar, king of Assyria, was led captive out of Tishbe, which is the right hand of that city, which is called properly Naphtali in Galilee above Assyria.
So it said they was led captive out. So we know we was captive in Nineveh. So go ahead, hit that 2 and 1.
Tobit chapter 2, verse 1.
Now
when I was come home again, and my wife Anna was restored unto me with my son Tobias in the feast of Pentecost.
Hold on, what feast is this?
Feast of Pentecost.
Is this one of the big three? Yep. Because we had Passover, we had Pentecost, and we got Tabernacles. Go ahead, bro.
Which is the holy feast of 7 weeks. There was a good dinner prepared me, in the which I sat down to eat.
So you see that? Now this is Tobit. His wife prepared him a good dinner for the feast, the last 7 days. In Nineveh, in captivity. And then, y'all, not only this, but she a good wife. So if you read verse 11 down on that, you'll see what happened when his paper got short in captivity. Look, he was doing everything he was supposed to in the law. The law of the land was saying, don't bury your dead. Tobit actually pulled a couple dead bodies in his basement and hid them till he could bury them. Because the law say, don't leave nobody outside that dirt for 24 hours. He was doing things in captivity, keeping the law, risking his life keeping the law. And you got somebody talking about don't do them like lazy. What does it say? 11 on
Verse
down.
11.
Yeah.
And my wife Anna did take women's work to do.
So when y'all read all of this down, you see Tobit, a bird, kind of dropped some dung in his eyes. He went blind. Now his wife, so that means he can't work no more. So his wife, it took on extra work, but he still had a backup plan. This is even in captivity. He said, I got a partner, owe me this much money. And when we looked up that amount of money, it was $336,000 or somewhere in that range. So it wasn't like my partner owed me some change that we can't get no Pampers around here. No, it wasn't no little pocket change my partner owed me. Because he sent his son to go get the paper and bring the money back. He said, player owed me. He know we good. And don't worry about it. He's word is bond. He got that paper for me. I trust him. Go get my paper for me. Because he was out of work. He blind. So we picking it up in verse 11. Go ahead. Where his wife had to take a little work. Go ahead. What it say?
And when she had sent them home to the owners, they paid her wage and gave her also besides a kid.
So she did whatever work she's doing, cleaning houses, whatever. They like, we never seen cleaning like this. By the way, here's a bonus. Take a kid with you. And I'm talking about this a goat. You know what that can feed? Look, if your house was too big for a whole lamb, you shared it with the rest of the people on the block. This is what big. So she did some cleaning, didn't she? Let's read some more. What else to say?
And when it was home, and when it was in my house, and began to cry, I said unto her, from whence is this kid? It is not stolen.
Is it not stolen?
Is it not stolen? Render it to the owners. For it is not lawful to eat anything that is stolen.
So is he keeping law in here about stealing? And not only that, he say, wait a minute, you just was cleaning some houses. They giving away kids now like that? When they done? They paying like that? They bonusing like that? Go ahead, what else to say?
But she replied unto me, it was given for a gift more than wage.
What it was given for?
A gift more than wage. Howbeit, I did not believe her.
No, woman, you lying to me. It's more going on. You was cleaning more than they house. What's going on here, woman? Go ahead. What else to say?
But bade her render it to the owner. And I was abashed at her. But she replied upon me, where are thine alms and thy righteous deeds? Behold, thou and all thy works or known.
So, and then you go on and read the rest of the story. But she's saying, look, man, don't come here with me this stuff and we ain't got nothing to eat around here. Shit, I did that work. I got a little paper and something to eat.
Right.
What you talking about? But didn't do it in that manner. She like, don't play me like that. You know better than that. You know I ain't stole nothing for us to eat and I got money. Why would I steal that? And then the thing holler? At least I would have had to cut it into pieces.
Evidence right there.
There's only one person on your block got a dog now it's barking in your backyard. Tell me I don't know where your dog is. No, that's my cat. I'm training it.
Training the dog.
Yeah. So y'all, that we see that one's in Tobit is in where is it at? Now he's in Assyria.
Assyria.
I got it right there, wrote down. 1 Corinthians 5 and 8, y'all. We're going to hit Jasher 7, and then we're going to close out with the act. We only got 2 more one-liners, y'all. We're closing on out. But look, is that one of the big 3 in Assyria? Mm-hmm. Yes or no?
Yes.
So either we got a contradiction with the scripture, or those that trying to get out of keeping God's commandment is just doing that, trying to get out of keeping God's commandment. They're not hard. And look, it says she just prepared a meal for me. Come on in, sit down. We got 6 more days of this feast of unleavened bread in captivity. Mm-hmm. Yeah, woman, it sure look good. It smell good too. Did he say, woman, I done told you about this. You captivity heifer. You doing things. Now you done stole a goat. No.
Stole a goat.
Boy, look here. But he put that napkin in and got that fork and spoon and went to work, didn't he? Where we at?
Get your feeling.
Right. We're going to 1 Corinthians 5 and 8.
Man, people be tripping off us having a good time.
Boy, look, here's a feast day. Who be angry eat? How we gonna be just like this? And the Lord said.
Pharisees and Sadducees.
Man.
It's not grievous.
Right.
Right around now. Get the plate from on that side, Nick. Y'all, a feast is made to be merry. Ain't that what it says? Right. Ain't the Sabbath a feast?
Yes, sir.
Who angry at a feast? You can't eat. If an argument break out at Golden Corral, everybody, come on, y'all, let's just go home. Shit, I can't eat now. Plate full.
Put them chicken breasts in your purse. Get my money.
But nobody argues and fight at a feast.
Right.
Y'all, we had that problem of chaos, arguing and fighting at our feast. That's why Isaiah 58 is so important. It's the feast day behavior. Mm-hmm. It's not just talking about that. It's saying my feast is not for y'all to come together and be arguing and fighting with one another. Is that a fast you think I got? A fast to fight and strife and debate? You're getting rid of everything to fast, to strife and debate. Mm-hmm. That's what you're getting cleaned out to fight.
Feeding the spirit and being merry.
Boy, look at it's crazy, ain't it? Go ahead, y'all. Let's get these 2 and close on out here. 1 Corinthians 5 and 8.
1 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 8. Therefore, let us keep the feast, not with old leaven, neither with the leaven of malice and wicked, but with the unleavened bread of sincerity and truth. I wrote unto you in an epistle not to company with fornicators, yet not altogether with the fornicators of this world, or with the covetous, or extortioners, or with the idolaters, for then must ye needs go out of the world. But now I have written unto you not to keep company, if any man that is called a brother.
If any man that's called a what?
Brother. Be a fornicator.
Be a what?
A fornicator. Or covetous, or an idolater, or a railer, or a drunkard, or an extortioner. With such an one not to eat.
So we can't have drinking out of 10 different cups at the Passover. Right. You can't sip out of the cup of fornication. How you got somebody in here don't even believe in the Messiah and they at your Passover? Right. They say they condemned already.
Yep.
See, y'all, so we can't sip out of multiple cups. That's bringing fornication to the party. Here, sip a little bit of this.
You got sippy cups?
Boy, look, they done dropped. Right, they done dropped. See, that's technically like dropping a Mickey on us. Somebody gonna go crazy and then gonna chase that doctrine.
Yep.
Sure is.
Man, he went crazy, man. Chase that doctrine. So, y'all, that's why when we say what cup you drinking from, we're not putting you on a hot seat. It's simple. We're talking about the Last Supper cup. We're talking about the bread and wine cup, the promise that Abraham and Shem, who was Melchizedek at the time, broke bread and wine. That's the cup we're asking you about. That cup. And Christ is washing the disciples' feet. So what we look like at the Passover when you come in and start trembling and shaking. And
But see, we only ask if you haven't been around. Because we don't know what's up with you.
Don't know what's going on.
That's all.
Don't know what's going on. And like I say, and it's not hard to repeat it back to us. The cup is.
Right.
Christ Yahweh Shai, the high priest, the one and only high priest, born of a virgin.
But you know what? What's crazy is people get offended in the spiritual sense of it, but even in the carnal, earthly sense, you ain't been around your family for a long time.
Yeah.
That old aunt or whatever.
Right.
And the first thing they ask you, where you been?
Where you been?
What you been up to?
Right.
Don't ask me where I've been, Auntie. Do they say
No,
it like
hell
that?
no.
No, they don't say it.
They sit down and humble themselves and talk about it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And then Auntie give you some advice
Your teeth.
on where to go from that point on.
This man?
Or she say, it's good to see you again, baby. Thank you. I'm glad to see you. Come back home.
Come back home. What you better do right, or you're going to be right back out that door.
There you
That's
go.
right.
You can't come back in with no strange rules.
But you ain't gonna come in that house and you been on some foolishness, you strung out, and you finna come in and threaten the household
No.
or
No.
steal her money and
Yeah.
all that she worked hard for and
Yeah.
put up for. No, she gonna question where you been and what you about.
Right.
Because the last time I saw you, you was on some BS.
That's right.
So are you still on that BS or
Right.
did you get yourself right?
You're leaning like
Then
you
before
is.
you go on the before you go in there and get some food, we want to know what's going
on with you? Ain't nothing wrong with asking that, is it?
And if you got a problem with somebody asking you, then you got a guilt conscience on you.
You right.
Something's going on that you trying to hide.
Because it ain't no different cup we're talking about. It's the same cup. That if you say you know what cup I'm drinking, well, just repeat it.
That's it.
Just that simple.
You know who I am. No, I don't. Tell me what your name is. Oh, you gonna act like you don't know me.
Looking through my window.
Don't know you until you tell me what your name is and why you're here. And then we can move forward. If you don't, y'all, we spinning our wheels and you just gonna have a smorgasbord and anything go.
Right.
You put anything on your plate. Scrimps will be on there with lamb.
Scrimps.
Yeah, scrimps.
You're going to have me tripping.
Scallops. And
That's what my family talk about. I don't never have no family gathering at my house. I was asking Elijah, I said, y'all been looking through my window?
but look, sis.
That's what felt.
Look, we're around each other.
Gatherings, yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Matthew
we are
5 say, look,
family.
as long as we family, y'all, we
Yeah,
got to
we
introduce
family.
this to somebody else, though.
Yeah.
But all we're saying is when you bring them to the feast, they know what cup they drinking out of.
Right.
You know, you can't have them bring them to the feast. Like we had one guy, we like, okay, y'all, we pray. Well, I don't pray like that. Well, you get the hell out of here. So, shit, how you gonna come here and eat our food and tell us what you ain't gonna do? Shit, you better get going. Who brought you here? And look, it was a contest bringer to show how we get down versus how they get down. We ain't into no contest bringing.
No.
You need to school them. This is what it's going to be. If this seems uncharacteristic for you or uncomely for you, the women will cover their heads when we pray. And the men will uncover their head. That's one. They're going to eat this certain diet and they're going to say these certain things. You need to know all these things. And while you at it, I want you to go over Leviticus 23 and I want you to read Numbers 9 too before we go. I'll pick you up later. If you don't do that, you're bringing somebody to the party that may be out of control.
Right. Yeah. And this dude, he tried to challenge us in our house
Yeah.
about our rules and regulations. And then try to go to script with us about it. And he had no idea what he was going to script about. Dude, this is referring to a high priest under the order of Aaron.
Right.
And I asked him, are you a high priest?
He was high.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Higher than giraffe stuff.
Yeah. Where we at, y'all? Got to finish these last two. We got that 1 Corinthians 5. We finished that? Yeah, 5 and 8? Yeah, we went down a little bit, but y'all, that's what it's talking about. And y'all, that was in Corinth. See, Paul is in Corinth with this letter. And he's telling them, y'all keep the feast. Let's hit it real quick. We're going to see again that he did make it back to one of the three, but he told them behind, y'all going to keep it. I got to go back, though. I'm able to do that. I'm traveling back and forth. That's what I do. I go back and forth. But y'all keep it right here. Go ahead. Where we at? We're in Jasher 70:42. We're going to the book of Jasher. And there's something very important here, that the Sabbath day was reinstituted before we left Egypt. I want y'all to understand some things. Moses, and when you keep looking at things, if you keep looking at things on face value, what type of name is Moses? Who named Moses?
Egyptian. Yeah.
But does a name have to do anything with keeping the commandments? No. No, Johnny, that's a Gentile name.
That's right.
But how is it spoken in Hebrew? Now, if they say that and you still clowning out in the street, swinging off of telephone poles and stuff, it don't matter how you pronounce it in Hebrew.
That nigga crazy.
That's what they'll be saying. What you got, Emo?
It's just like my grandmother. She had gotten to one of my grandmothers had gotten to a certain point and she had not seen us in a very long time.
Uh-huh.
So when we came out, she said, "Who's you?"
Uh-huh.
She said, "Who's you?"
Uh-huh.
"Who's your daddy?"
Right. Needed to know, did she? What stock are you?
"Who's your mom?"
And look, let me tell you something, sis. What you just brought up was very powerful. When y'all get into this book of Tobit, an angel Raphael was sent to go with him because they're going through enemy territory and stuff to get that money and bring it back. And the first thing was like, who your peeps, man? He said, I'm the house of this. He's like, I know your peeps. I know your peeps, but there's some good people. I trust you to go with my son. You come from good stock.
That's it.
So absolutely, Emo. So that's the way it was. But y'all went to Jasher 70. We got one more. We're going to close on out. Jasher 70 and 42. And y'all, this is talking about Moses when he got of age.
Start at 41.
We can start at 41, yes, sir. That highlighted right there. Go ahead, get that, y'all. Jasher 70, verse 41. And y'all, this is why we was thick into. And look, y'all, Leviticus 23 mentions Sabbath. So even though it's not the weekly Sabbath, it still must be performed like a weekly Sabbath. So you still have to understand it as a feast day. Right. You're just doing it on a different day because you need quiet time after fulfilling a feast. Is hard work. And sis, you got a good example of that out of town somewhere, didn't you? How to prepare a feast. They'll work you like a field hand if everybody ain't on board.
Yes, sir. Yes.
I'm talking about there was some new sandals sister had on when she left, but they like them some house shoes, ain't they? I'll work you to death, y'all, because that's what it's doing when you got that many people together and you're trying to get this together. It takes time, and then when you start, and then you got to get up the next day and you on short sleep. If that makes you say, I'm not going to do the Passover again next year, that's a problem even worse than talking about the land, because you've been tired out of performing.
The Most High requires obedience.
Obedience over sacrifice. He tell us rest after you do my day. So I want you beat down for doing my day. Let's get some more.
Book of Jasher, chapter 70, verse 41.
What it say?
And the day arrived when Moses went to Goshen to see his brethren.
See, we was in the ghettos of Egypt called Goshen. Go ahead.
That he saw the children of Israel in their burdens and hard labor. And Moses was grieved on their account.
Right.
And Moses returned to Egypt and came to the house of Pharaoh and came before the king. And Moses bowed down before the king.
And one thing you ain't gonna never see and worshipped. See, bowing, we bow. When you go to the judge and they say, everybody here, Your Honor, yes, Your Honor, that's a form of bowing, or basically it's showing reverence. But if the next word and worship comes behind that, then that's either a problem or it's going to be righteousness. Like Joshua took off his shoes and he bowed and he worshiped. Moses at the burning bush took off his shoes, he bowed and he worshiped. But no other angel telling you that. Every other one said, you better get up off your knees. Get up from there. John the Revelator angel told him that. He said, get up. You better get up off your knees. You're going to get us killed. KILT. Get up. Where we at?
verse 43.
Yeah. And see, Moses was 18 around this time. He just left the kingdom because he's working in corporate. He's working under Pharaoh. He just went to the ghetto to see his people. Go ahead. What else it says there?
And Moses said unto Pharaoh, I pray thee, my Lord, I have come to seek a small request from thee. Turn not away my face. Turn not away my face empty. And Pharaoh said unto him, Speak. And Moses said unto Pharaoh, Let there be given unto the servants of the children of Israel.
Read that again, Zeb.
Let there be given unto thy servants of the children of Israel who are in Goshen 1 day to rest therein from their labor.
So we was doing 7 days a week. No rest. You're weary. Look, I want you to think you're so wore out. One day you get no days off. I want y'all to think about that. If you work like that today, one of them days gonna get you to where you're gonna go to sleep and you ain't gonna wake up for a day and a half, or you're gonna get sick and ain't gonna recover.
Right. Yep.
That's what the Sabbath for is, for recovery. If you leave your computer on, it'll go into hibernation on you. And they say, I ain't waking up. You get the Geek Squad on the line. Geek Squad can't do nothing with hibernation. Go ahead. What else to say, bro?
And the king answered Moses and said, Behold, I have lifted up my face in this thing to grant thy request.
See, so Pharaoh said, you right, you cool with me, Mo. Just like Darius did, Cyrus the Persian, I should say. Y'all cool with me. Yeah, I do that thing for you. Boy, that is working y'all like some slaves, ain't it? Y'all 7 days a week. We putting it on y'all like that? Yes, sir. You are putting it on us like that. Go ahead. What else to say?
And Pharaoh ordered a proclamation to be issued throughout Egypt and Goshen, saying,
Where was that? Both what lands?
Egypt and Goshen, saying, To you, all the children of Israel, thus says the king, for 6 days you shall do work and labor.
See, so this lets you know it's a change in how we was working. So now the days of the numbers is cut down. But what else it says there?
But on the 7th day.
But on the what?
On the 7th day you shall rest and shall not perform any work. Thus shall you do all the days. And the king and Moses, as the king and Moses, the son of Bethiah, have commanded. And Moses rejoiced at this thing which the king had granted to him. And all the children of Israel did as Moses ordered them.
Now look, we did it in captivity, but wouldn't do it in freedom. The man went out and still picked up sticks when we free from this. Well, you see, this is why he wanted obedience. He like, I got to shake Egypt from y'all. I got to get it off your mind. Y'all got to take a break. You can't paper chase, like you can't work yourself into a grave. Right. What else to say, bro? But this going to be the kicker right here.
For this thing was from the Most High.
Who was it from?
The Most High to the children of Israel. For the Most High had begun to remember the children of Israel, to save them for the sake of their father. And the Most High was with Moses, and his fame went throughout Egypt. And Moses became great in the eyes of all Egyptians. And in the eyes of all the children of Israel, seeking good for his people Israel, and speaking words of peace.
And speaking words of what?
Peace, regarding them to the king.
See, because we're in captivity, y'all. You're going to have to acknowledge who's king of this land, unless you bind a strong man. But Moses didn't go in and he said, I got a request for you, Pharaoh. Yeah, Pharaoh like, boy, you done saved me countless of time. What you got? You killing them. 7 days a week they working. Give them a day off. But the thing was from the Lord, getting us prepared to head to the wilderness. This in captivity. Sabbath is a feast day. Keep the feast day. So he telling you, same thing. And Hebrews 4th chapter, seek that other rest. That's going to be a Sabbath day, but it's going to be the feast of the Lord. It's going to be Zechariah 14, because we're into a 1,000-year peace realm. And we're going to be feasting for 1,000 years off the top. It'll be in the land.
Right.
But the nations who don't come up for them same three, we still got same three, get no rain in due season. Right. But they're not bringing up every other nation in Jerusalem to come up to Jerusalem. What kind of sense that make? It's 600,000 just white Americans here. You bring them up here and you got how many more nations on planet Earth? Where they going to fit in Jerusalem? You send an ambassador up. We will keep the feast.
Yep,
We will represent their performing it at home right now.
But also,
If you want some rain, like
right, if you look in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 29, where you're telling you in the captivity of Babylon, build ye houses,
marry you wives,
children, and do all that I command thee, so that I bring you out and bring you back to the land that I promised to you. But you won't get back to the land unless you do everything I commanded you in your land of the captivity.
Now he said, "Take ye wives." He didn't say, "Take ye handmaids and harlots," did he? I'm talking about in the land of captivity. Build ye houses. What was that? I believe that's Jeremiah 42 or Jeremiah 49.
Jeremiah 29.
29. Build ye houses in your captivity. Don't worry about it. I know the king of Babylon. He ain't got nothing to do with you. Build ye houses and take ye wives. Raise your children in the land where I drive you. Don't worry about it. I got y'all. Right. I'm not a deadbeat dad. I ain't gonna tell you I'm going to get a loaf of bread. You ain't seen me in 15 years. What you got?
It said our elders made that very difficult because I grew up in paganism.
We did too, yeah.
It was not for the Most High's mercy to open up our eyes and show us the truth. And this is the sad part. When He showed me the truth, and I took that same truth back to my elders who heard it themselves, they refused it. They knew it was the truth, but Mama told me, you know what, keep doing what you're doing, but I can't, because I can't afford to lose what I already have.
See, and that's what it comes down to when you put commerce over conscience. That's what it's called. When you think, man, you could be some great one, why don't you sell this? Man, I ain't supposed to do that, man. But think about all them zeros they gonna put. Think about that, and you put conscience over commerce over conscience. They're going to be a problem because you said I can't part with money. That's like the rich man. I keep all the commandments. Go sell and do what you have. No, can't do that. Now you didn't ask too much for $2.
They're gonna be crying when the Messiah show up.
Boy, look here.
Not my stuff.
Let's read this last one, y'all. Acts 20:6. And we'll see where Paul at again. And see, that's why they then start attacking Paul. Man, I'm about to trust him. We don't even know if he was an Israelite. Well, read Romans 11 like you like to read, and all Israel going to be saved. You read it for all them other parts. So you're saying, oh, except this part. Oh, I forgot about y'all exclusion game. Y'all excludes the script. They don't go with what you saying. You ain't gonna never hear us say, don't believe that verse right there, or we having trouble with that verse or this verse, don't trust the Bible on that. What they are showing you is interpretations of different language of a verse. But go back to verse 1 and see if it changes the narrative. In each Bible verse that they give you, I don't care how many verses they do it. Go back to verse 1 and read down to verse 8 in that one. Go to the next one, read down to verse 8 in that one, and then read past them in every version and see what the same consensus is. I'm trying to tell Israel to behave themselves. Right. But just like you said, they ain't want to hear it. Right. He say it's like the scribes are writing in vain. Right. That's what it's saying. It's saying the pausing pen of scribes. It seems like pausing because that's what obedience is like to us. Pausing.
Right.
We don't want to do right.
Like they're trying to say in the other translations.
We won't do right. How you going to talk that language pausing and we still hear it? So if it's pausing, you got to find the clean version to get us out of captivity, don't you? Yes, sir. And the versions you're using, you're saying, oh, they tamper with too. Y'all understand how we waddling in the mire?
Yes, sir.
Right.
You gonna bring in an outside book that's tainted and then taint the Bible, so now we equal. This ain't gonna help your buddy the Egyptologist or none of them. It ain't gonna help them. I don't care how he said, wait. Yeah, how shine.
You better get the hell away from him. Haul ass away from him.
And throw scriptures like dice, like you on the boat. Wait. Sure.
He sound like a wounded dog.
But see, they have to put that flavor on the license.
That ain't flavor.
You know, like how Martin Luther
That soldier lost his son.
Y'all know how Martin Luther King do his draw. Every one copy after that. Every great preacher, they try to sound like Martin Luther King. You know, when I first It's a long pause in there.
Yeah.
Is that what that was?
I walk down the
dragon.
street.
They need
Yeah,
some
you
more
like
practice.
shit. We gonna be here for 2 weeks the way you going. You talking about Pastor Longwind?
You need to listen to more and some more and practice.
Pass the long, slow one.
Yeah, go ahead, y'all. Let's finish this close out.
Acts 20 and what?
Verse 6.
Acts chapter 20, verse 6.
And see, when y'all see verse 1, y'all see them sailing into Macedonia and parts. And then, yeah, but we get on down now. Go ahead, Elisha.
And we sailed away from Philippi.
Where was they at?
Philippi. After the days of unleavened bread.
Before.
After.
So that means you're in Philippi during the days of unleavened bread, didn't it? It say we waited till the days were over. Is that easy to understand, y'all? How hard is that? Read that again, Elisha.
And we sailed away from Philippi after the days of unleavened bread. And came unto them to Troas in 5 days, where we abode 7 days.
See, so, and then it go on to tell you about the first day of the week. It end up being a Sunday. But, y'all, it's simple. It said, look, we in Philippi, then we sailed on there, but we waited till after the days of unleavened bread. Then we moved.
Right.
And then we feasted over here. We did this. So this is in Philippi, ain't it?
Yep.
Unleavened bread mentioned in Philippi?
Yeah.
Is that Philippi and Jerusalem?
No.
Huh?
That's a suburb.
Unleavened bread is one of the big three, ain't it?
Philippi is the suburbs of Jerusalem.
Yeah, that's what they'll say. See, y'all don't know. See, y'all don't know, player. Y'all ain't studied what I studied. I'm way up here. Y'all way down there. Yeah, because I'm deep. No, you in deep water with that doctrine. You about to drown. Here's a life preserver.
There you go.
Catch it, go out.
He ain't gonna catch it.
I don't think they can help you. Won't take it away from everybody else.
He gonna
Yeah, I'm done with this,
He
y'all.
don't want it,
Anybody got any questions or concerns?
He don't want it though.
Once again, y'all, we got Passover Tuesday, April the 4th at evening. At least get your name on the list, y'all. We got a cutoff date coming. We got a cutoff date for our out-of-town guests, and we got a cutoff date for our guests here in St. Louis, because if we don't get a cutoff date, it's going to be 20, 30, 40, a busload show up on that day looking to buy a ticket that day. Dog, but I'm dressed.
No, you not.
What that mean to us?
Go back home and get
Go back home.
Get undressed.
Get undressed, right. So, y'all, we can't go down and get the water for you and then hold the ladle so you can drink. We're saying something as simple as, if you ain't got the paper now, you got to have this paper by this. But we're going to put you on the list because we have to go to the store in captivity. Because this captivity, say the FDA, if we have lambs and goats in our backyard, it's going to be a problem. How you going to have lambs and chicken and you live in an apartment? See, they don't even think outside the box like that about the people, but you're not thinking about the people. You're thinking about yourself, trying to make yourself one. When David took over the kingdom, it said the first thing David did is call every man, woman, and child. Here's some meat, here's some wine, here's some money. It said David did that as soon as he took over. He took care of it. He said to every man and woman and child. First thing off the top, I'm finna take care of the nation. Not the nation taking care of you.
That's right.
All these got something in it. Says, no, hand your business. I want you to drop that. Yeah. Go ahead. Where we at? We finished that, ain't we? Okay.
We finished that.
Hey, I hope we got some good understanding out there too about what they say.
It's an excellent class. All praise, excellent.
Yes, sir.
Have a long win.
Yes, sir.
You got anything on the table?
No, sis, I'm gonna pack that up and take it home. Yes, sir. Y'all want to get again? Thank you, supporters of the ministry, y'all. Most High willing to keep breath in our bodies. We'll keep the lesson coming, y'all. Tell us what's on your heart, mind, or soul. This was brought to our attention by Big Country. He needed some understanding. Can you do the feast days outside the land? So it's not our responsibility. It's their responsibility if we're not supposed to. Right. Show us the woe and we'll stop. Right. If you ain't showing us the woe, you just fat mouth. We don't do fat mouth talking around here. You must prove all things.
That's right. And that was not Push asking about the watch over here. That was a fight.
I know, I saw it.
Yeah, no, with that southern drawl, what he said.
All right.
You rolling with us on this?
Yes, sir. Here I am. Said, that Joan and all.
Yeah. Well, look, you can tell he put in work. His script tore apart like just parchments.
He got a new one and just don't want to use
No,
it.
he got to make them marks. He got to transfer them over.
Yeah.
Boy, it can take 3 scores 10 to do it.
Well, he's been in it 15 years. That's about how long it'll take.
Yeah, say he's slow poking this, huh, brother?
All right, family. We're going to stop them from Joan and all.
Go ahead, bro.
We'll get this closing prayer with the Most High's permission.
Yes, sir.
And it's in the name of his only begotten and beloved Son, our Lord and Savior and our uncrowned King.
Yes.
He is also our Redeemer.
Yes, sir.
He is Yahushua.
Yes.
HaMashiach.
Yeah.
We know him as Jesus the Christ.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Long may the King.
Long may the King.
Reading in the book of Psalms.
Read.
The 63rd chapter reads, O Yah, thou art my Elohim.
Yes.
Early will I seek thee.
Yes, sir.
My soul thirsteth for thee.
Yes.
My flesh longeth for thee in a dry and thirsty land where no water is. To see thy power and thy glory, so as I have seen thee in the sanctuary.
Yes, sir.
Because thy loving kindness is better than life. My lips shall praise thee.
Yes, sir.
Thus will I bless thee while I live.
Yes, sir.
I will lift up my hands in thy name.
Yes, sir.
My soul shall be satisfied as with marrow and fatness.
Yes, sir.
And my mouth shall praise thee
Yes.
with joyful lips.
Yes.
Sir.
When I remember thee upon my bed and meditate on thee in the night watches.
Yes, sir.
Because thou hast been my help.
Yes, sir.
Therefore, in the shadow of thy wings will I rejoice. My soul followeth hard after thee.
Yes, sir.
Thy right hand upholdeth me. But those that seek my soul to destroy it shall go into the lower parts of the earth.
That's right.
They shall fall by the sword. They shall be a portion for foxes. But the king shall rejoice in Yahweh.
Yes, sir.
Everyone that sweareth by him shall glory. But the mouth of them that speak lies shall be stopped. Hallelujah! Say loud!
Yes, sir. If y'all got a shekel or two, we greatly appreciate it. Y'all need to holler at me about Passover. Y'all need to come on holler at me.
Put me on the list, dog.
Yeah. That's all got to be said. Well, that ain't hard, is it?
What's so hard about that?
You on the list. You've been on the list.
Sean Wise said call him.
Who?
Sean Wise, he said call him.
I ain't got no number on Sean Wise. Sean Wise, here, put the email in there. Sean, hit me up, put your number in the text.
Yeah. Wow.
Shouts out to everybody. 3D Life. Shouts out. I'm DH.
No, I
Sister Stacy.
went to the repass.
Sister Giles. Brother Ben. Sister Couture. Sister Nicole. Sister Tasha Robinson. Lillian Mars. If I didn't mention y'all, y'all know I greatly appreciate it. What happened?